Rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685842. Equal housing lender.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this one purple!
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Hello and welcome in to a Friday edition of Pirate Radio Live, a free beer Friday edition of PRL. Clip Brock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios and coming to you today on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We are on 1250, 930. The show can be found online at pr927fm.com. If you're away from your radio and can't watch us, you can stream it there. If you're away from your radio and are available to watch the program, you can do so on Facebook Live and on YouTube. We got a lot of great videos there on Facebook and on YouTube, including our post-game ECU baseball Zooms. We'll have plenty of those this weekend. We've got our ECU football post-scrimmage audio and video coming your way on Saturday, so stay tuned for that. We've got Pirate Radio Trivia posted on our YouTube and Facebook page, and episode 3 of that dropping soon. A great battle between Redbeard and John Moody that went down to the wire. I can't wait till that's posted. You guys are going to enjoy that. So that is available on our YouTube and Facebook page as well. All right, coming up on today's program, we'll get you ready for Thursday's NFL Draft. Tony Dunn is here. We'll talk about what's going on in Panthers land and look around the NFL here in hour number 1. Hour 2, Mark Greenhalgh from the Golf Shop Radio Show will join us. There is a duo event going on right now, and HV3 and his partner are one shot below the cut line, so we'll keep updating that for you, and hopefully they can sneak their way in to the weekend, but it appears they will not. But we'll talk some golf with Greeny in hour 2, and then a trio of former Pirates who are hoping and should be pro Pirates here pretty soon. We got Jake Verity, former ECU kicker, joining us. Blake Proehl will be on the Fixed NC Live line, as will Deontay Smith, who I saw just this week in a mock draft, heading to Washington in the 4th round. So Deontay's stock skyrocketed at the Senior Bowl. We'll talk about what he's been up to and what it's been like for him preparing for next week's NFL Draft. So we got all that and a great giveaway. It's Free Beer Friday. We'll be giving away a case of Michelob Ultra Organic Pack, Michelob Ultra 6-pack cooler and bucket, a large pizza from Domino's, and a new Pirate Vibes Only t-shirt. All can be yours in hour 3. All right, got that out of the way. Tony Dunn is here. Hello, Tony.
Hello. What a giveaway.
Yeah,
I just want to run away with it.
Run away with the giveaway?
Yeah.
Tony, hair looking great.
Thank you.
Feeling good. Can we say that it is draft week since it's less than a week, or do we have to wait till like Monday?
I think we're okay saying that.
It's draft week, folks, and I'm excited. Maybe not as excited as
Excitement time!
Excitement time! Last year we had no sports going on, so I was really looking forward to the draft.
Right. And we wanted to see what a Zoom draft looked like.
That's true.
Now it's a real draft, right?
So Roger Goodell,
he gets to hug people. I saw a story. It says Roger Goodell can hug people because he's fully vaccinated.
Yeah,
I'm fully vaccinated. I'm about to give you a hug.
Are players down with that? Like might be excited about it. Are the players? I don't know, but Roger Goodell, fully vaxxed, ready to hug
and ready to be booed,
ready for love and ready for hate, all at the same time. Well, the draft is live in Cleveland, so it will be a normal draft, I guess. In fact, a couple of our mutual friends and trivia partners might be going to that. Jeff Cannon is on our Browns guy.
Are him and CW going to go together?
Him and P-Rod, the Raiders fan, may be going.
They need to take CW.
But he was waiting on to see if...
Why did I say that? Why am I saying that? CW likes to go to Canton. Sorry. I thought Cleveland, Ohio, Canton also, right? Ohio?
I'm just going to let you talk.
Sorry. For some reason, I was thinking CW likes to go to Ohio.
All right. Anyway.
My bad.
Ohio is...
So don't worry. Don't take CW now.
What was I saying? Oh, he's on the season ticket list, and I guess those folks get first priority to attend the draft party, but he's got to see, I think, if his standing is good enough to be allowed to go. I don't have an update.
It was snowing in Cleveland this past week.
Oh, boy. What a draft party. Yeah, exactly. In April, May, and snow.
I want to talk about this real quick. Colmore on the mound, Winterville kid. I saw that.
South Central.
He's got this armband on. Did they change numbers in baseball as well? Is that what he's having trouble? Like he's got to keep up with their tendencies. He couldn't do it, so he has to have an armband. I wonder if Tom Brady's going to have an armband to figure out who the Mike linebacker is.
Well, actually, that is how they are doing their pitches, and they do switch out that card like every inning. So, and he just came into the game, so he probably just got a new card, and he's trying to figure out the signs.
Oh, so that's for the signs, not the players. I thought it would be like...
Yeah, it's not like a scouting report.
That's what I thought it was going to be.
This guy likes pitches
Slider,
up and in.
Out.
Yeah. ECU winning right now, 4-2 the score. Gavin Williams just came out of the game after going 7 1/3. Great outing for Gavin Williams today. Pirates have the lead in the 7th in game 1 of a double header. All right, Tony, let's talk draft. Chandler, Honeycutt's here. Hey, Chandler.
Come on in, Chandler. Take your time.
I was waiting for me. And
he's
Shirley to be introduced.
Sitting on the sideline.
Shirley's here as well.
We'll go to the Shirley Rhodes news desk coming up at 4:00 on today's show. We got news regarding NCAA regionals and super regionals that nobody's going to want to hear. We'll bring that to you later on in the show.
Which we kind of heard yesterday.
Yeah, we saw it kind of foreshadowed yesterday, and the mandate came down today. Chandler, you said earlier today that the Panthers are receiving calls, which we already knew.
At least 5 teams.
And now I guess we found out today that at least 5 teams have talked about moving up, correct? So the Panthers will move back in the draft.
Sounds like no one's asking for Teddy Bridgewater, though. Dang it. I wonder if that would be part of the deal. Like, you have to take him.
I was thinking about that today. He could be part of a draft night trade.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't rule out that he's going to be there when the season starts.
It's like you can have Teddy, and they're like, nah.
So 5 teams are interested in trading up into the 8th spot. That would put us, what, you're talking like maybe... New England's one of those. I think
the Washington football team is one of them.
Where are you guys? 19? It's a little outside. New England
probably between 10 and 20, I would think, right?
Yeah. 15. Scott Fitterer said this in his opening press conference, and I mean, he's just assigning numbers at this point, but he said that the first 15 picks are where the blue chip players are at, and then after that, you're kind of roughly getting the same guy at 20 that you're getting at 32 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So if he lives and dies by that 15 number, right? That's like New England, the Chargers maybe, or another one. Some people think that they're looking for a tackle or something. I just know this, Chandler. If the Panthers trade back, we better get a good dang deal. Because every year that we've been at 19 or 25, and we're like, man, I'd love to trade up and get this player that can make a big difference. Everybody's like, oh, it's going to cost you this and this to move up to the top 10. If we trade back and only get a second, I'm going to lose my mind.
So what are you looking forward to in the?
You got to get a first this year, and you better get either multiple, like a second, 2 twos, like one this year, one next year,
Right.
or I'm really thinking this is we need a first. We need next year's first.
Because you have needs. You're not trading to get more. Like, you need an impact guy right now.
And they need an impact guy. It's not cheap. No, they don't get to just trade up and give you a third and say, "Oh man, you get to move back 5 spaces." I'd be really upset about that. Like, it needs to be worth it for us to sacrifice our position.
Are you still, and I guess I'm talking more to Chandler here, and then we'll get to Tony, is Panay Sewell still the number one target for you, Chandler?
Yes.
All right, Tony.
Yeah, I mean, if he's there.
Well,
Even if he's not, the Slater guy from Northwestern's really good.
Yeah.
So you want a tackle?
Absolutely.
I can't say that. Like, yes, we want a tackle. We need a tackle.
Is it a
But
reach
they-
though? At
I don't know. I don't think it's a
No,
reach.
I
I don't think so at all. What I think is this is what happens if the other parts of the draft don't go as people are determining.
Right.
One being Justin Fields is the name that some people believe could slip. The other is Kyle Pitts. And I am not a guy that's a fan of drafting tight ends in the first. We've talked about this, but Kyle Pitts, by all reports, is the best wide receiver and tight end in the draft. A transformational type or generational type talent they keep claiming. But I do think that that would be better than us picking a receiver like Jamar Chase. So it's tackle, Fields, and what happens? What do you do if Pitts is there?
All right,
So
here we go.
you like Pitt.
All right, hold on. So all we're doing is speculating here, just like mock drafts are. They're all speculation. So what if receivers go, defensive players, multiple defensive players go out of the blue, and at 8 you've got a tackle there, whether it be Sewell or the Northwestern guy.
Okay. Pitts.
I think Pitts will be gone, but I'll put him there just for argument's sake. And Justin Fields are all there. What is your pecking order?
You go, because I already got this answer right away.
Justin Fields.
That's
All right.
me too.
So you go with the QB. Yeah.
And a lot of people, I was contacted by some friends that run a Jets podcast, and they're running a mock draft, and I was so excited to be a part of it. No, I wasn't. And thank God,
Wow.
God they did this one where it's just like, these are the people that picked. It was just a Twitter thread. So I didn't have to actually go and talk about a mock draft. And I said, well, Sewell was my pick. And he said, well, the Detroit guy hasn't picked yet, but here are your options. And I said, Sewell. He called me. He said, well, Detroit picked Sewell.
Uh-huh.
So who you want? And I said, give me Trey Lance. And he said, oh, curveball, because he is, Jets guy. And they're thinking we're putting all this with Sam Darnold. I don't think we're tethered to Sam Darnold as much as people like to think. I think Lance is more of a reach. I think Fields is more of a kind of a I guess quicker project if it is a project. But I'm not going to be upset if we take a tackle. I'm just going to be upset if we take, I don't know, like a safety or a corner.
I was going to say, what about
like
one of
a
the
Parsons?
The corners are expected. Well, again, expected. From mocks I've seen, defensive players should start going around 9, 10, 11, something like that.
Yeah.
There are corners high on the board. You'd be upset if you took one of those top guys.
How painful is this discussion to you, Clip? First of all, talking about
We're
hypothetical
less than
mock
a week away, so
you'll
I'm excited
tolerate
about
it this week?
I'm good. I'm
Okay.
ready for it. I'm excited about
I
it
went
now.
on the YouTube.
You've probably been doing it way more than I have, so you're over it.
I'm kind of. You have turned me.
I know.
You have turned me, and
Now I like
it is
way
draft
more
week.
than you.
I know. I feel better though, because there's no pressure. I don't
Yeah.
even have any horses in the race, really. I went on the Panthers collective of YouTubers. The YouTube collective had a super mock draft where they brought all the YouTubers together. It was like 16
YouTubers unite.
Yes. And I got up there, and the first thing I said, Clip, you'll love this, is I'm only here to pay respects to you guys as creators because I hate mock drafts. So I am a curmudgeon here, like Tom Brady changing numbers.
So Joe Brady and those guys going to Justin Fields' second pro day, and it being evident that we're looking for a quarterback in the draft. Is it safe to say that Sam Darnold is insurance right now for the Carolina Panthers?
I'd say more than insurance.
The Panthers did a great thing getting Darnold because now there's no pressure to get a QB, but if one falls in your lap, you can take him.
And even if they get a quarterback, they still have a good scenario for that quarterback coming in because you can bring in Sam Darnold, make him the starter. Right? I think, what is the worst possible thing that would happen if you drafted Justin Fields, and what is the worst possible thing, and that Sam Darnold turns out to be good? And then you go, oh, well, this is a terrible situation. We can trade Sam Darnold Justin Fields. You could go throw him out there in the preseason for the next 2 years and have him look like a magic man and get a ton of picks.
Play him week 17.
Yes.
Like, the guy that went to Seattle from Green Bay.
Flynn?
Matt Flynn.
No, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like the guy who started Hustler. Who's
Larry
that?
Flynn?
Larry Flynn. First one.
Totally.
First one of the week.
I mean, it kind of sounds like it.
Matt Flynn. No, is there another CIA guy?
That's your first name
Flynn?
flub of the week?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I haven't talked all week, though. I've been mute.
Guys, there's been a trade. Kansas City is trading its first-round pick Thursday night with 3 other picks in the 21 and 22 drafts to the Ravens in exchange for Pro Bowl offensive tackle Orlando Brown and another pick in the 21 and 22 draft.
Expensive. So how many first round? So it just says 1 first round.
Yeah.
But we don't know what those other picks. A total of 4 picks, it looks like.
First round and 3 other picks, yep.
Yeah. 4 picks. Hey, for the Chiefs, that's not a terrible idea.
Yeah, they're at the back of the draft. Last year, they got Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the first round, who was an
He
impact
started hot.
Yeah. But
They have the tools to be great, but they have to protect Patrick Mahomes. And it's just even when they barely protected him, he still almost wins. So that's a good move right there. And I think in some ways that back end of the draft, you're getting a surefire player there. And speaking of Pro Bowl, the draft, Orlando Brown is the guy that everybody made fun of for his pro day or combine workout. You remember? He was the one that ran like he was so big and flubby and around, and he just looked so out of shape, and he turned out to be the best out of all of them.
Yeah, very well. You can't put all the stock into the
3-cone shuffle or the high jump.
Whatever dance the kids are doing these days on TikTok, the 3-cone shuffle. All right, so Panthers, you guys are...
We have one other piece of Panthers news. I don't know if it's like
I've got some other Panthers news and notes. I just want to make sure we start with the draft and work our way out. I've got the Dave Matthews Band, which we really have to get
I didn't hear about this.
Okay.
That's good news.
I'm so confused.
Okay.
So we're working our way out of the draft. Carolina Panthers to look forward to is, are they going to take a pick? Are they going to pick at 8? Are they going to trade back? And there's going to be there could be a lot of excitement. I've been saying this for the last month, is that this is going to be one of the most exciting drafts of our lifetimes because so many quarterbacks are going in the top 10. All of these names that we know, the top 10 players that are going, even my mom knows some of these names. And so that's going to make it exciting. And there has to be...
Is your mom more excited about mock drafts than you are?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
And then there's going to be something that's just strange. There always is, right? There's always
going to be the
Jamar Chase at number 2.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
I don't like this pick at all. This is awful.
And if you want to see Chandler do that exact thing on draft night, you can tune into the C3 Panthers live draft party where we just watch the draft and do this.
That'll be fun to check out on Thursday night. Matt Rule says one question he likes to ask prospects is, if you were stuck on a desert island and can only listen to one artist, who would it be? Matt Rule's pick would be the Dave Matthews Band.
Okay. I mean, it's solid, I guess. I mean, not the best.
It's kind of a happy-go-lucky music. If you're stuck on a desert island, you want to be happy, I guess.
And you want to hopefully have a violin that you can learn to fiddle along with.
I'm going to go with a different band. I'm going to go with Zach Brown Band.
Okay. Tony?
One band to listen to my whole life. Oh, God.
At least until you're rescued. They got to have a pretty big catalog, or you have to like the same song over and over again.
They have to have a big catalog. It's probably going to be something Soundgarden, maybe. Can handle that. Go back and maybe do Led Zeppelin. They got a good catalog.
Pink Floyd has a million songs, but it's kind of depressing.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. Like, I like the Grateful Dead a lot. They have a million songs, but at some point is like that might be the name alone might just get you weirded out on the island situation.
Shirley, who would you pick? Desert Island, one group or artist.
New Kids on the Block.
I could have guessed
Because
that.
Shirley will be hanging tough on that island.
You know, I'm changing my answer. Coolio.
I mean, it would be that or Tegan and Sarah just because both of them have extensive libraries. So I could listen to
all my life on this desert island.
So the search team's going over the island, and they're like, she might need some help, but she's down there going,
she's dancing.
Dun, 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 dun. They're like, oh, she's good.
She's
wait, no, I need help.
They're going to find, I'm going to be listening to Coolio. People are just going to keep climbing out of this 50s car that floated up from Cuba.
Maybe they'll think you're on a fantastic voyage. You don't want to be rescued. All right, we'll take a time out. We'll come back. Tony wants to talk about some paper, rock, scissors, so we will do that.
Paper, rock, scissors.
Can't wait to see what the Eagles do in this draft.
Oh, the process is going to be fantastic.
We're going to put a system in that's easy to learn, and they're going to learn it, and then we're going to play football.
The reason I like the draft is because there's a system, and the system is in place, and we're going to be a part of the system.
Shoot.
We'll talk.
You're in.
More NFL with Tony Dunn. We got some ECU baseball talk coming up in hour 2. A lot of ECU football talk later in the show with the trio of former Pirates, Jake Verity, Blake Proehl, and Deontay Smith. It's all ahead on Pirate Radio Live. We're back with you after this.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those. But anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Ready to travel and take a trip? American Airlines has recently added more flights in and out of PGV. Book today and enjoy the friendly convenience of flying from your local airport. American Airlines, now with more flights available at PGV. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the Pirates fly.
Hey, O's fans, the all-new 2021 5-game flex plan is available now at Orioles.com/flex, providing you with the ultimate flexibility to select the games that fit your schedule and priority before the general public to select your games, including popular promo dates like the Jim Palmer bobblehead and Birdland Hawaiian shirt. Starting at just $99, you'll save big over single-game ticket costs, plus all plans are protected by O'Surance. Visit Orioles.com/flex.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
Hey Pirate fans, it's time to get that yard done right with the new John Deere mower from Quality Equipment. Our premium lawn care lineup is what every homeowner needs this spring. A John Deere will change the way you mow with easy-to-use attachments, effortless steering, and intuitive controls. Right now, save up to $700 on X300, X500, and X700 series mowers. Learn more at QualityEquip.com and get quality done right. Offer ends 10/29/21. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Here today with Gazelle, also known as Brad Bagley to his friends and family. Why F3?
Well, I've been doing F3 for 5 years now, and it's just become part of my routine. I started out thinking that I was in shape, didn't realize how out of shape I was until I came out here, and now these guys are just good friends, and I can't imagine life without them now.
One letter, one number, F3. Fitness, fellowship, and faith. All workouts are free of charge and open to all men. Leave no man behind, but leave no man where you find him. Learn more today at F3ENC.com.
National Signing Day has come and gone, but that doesn't mean the recruiting news cycle is stopping. In fact, the Pirates still have their sights set on top targets in the transfer portal and have already turned their attention to the 2022 class. HoistTheColors.net has the latest on EC recruiting from a football perspective, and we also cover basketball and baseball commitments like no others. Sign up now and get your first month for a single $1 to get the latest scoop on your favorite Pirate teams, along with in-depth baseball and spring football coverage in the months ahead. HoistTheColors.net.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
Find new roads with Chevrolet. Then come find yours at Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville.
Pirate Radio.
And I can promise you, there will be no quarter, ever, from ECU football. Go Pirates.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. North Carolina state parks are now open for visitors. Parks should be used for exercise, fresh air, getting out in nature, or a day trip. Visitors should enjoy themselves, but please remember to focus on moving through the park, keep social distancing in mind, and avoid large groups. While most facilities and activities will be open, please contact any state park with questions or visit ncparks.gov/open. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
Back with you on Pirate Radio Live here on a free beer Friday. Clip Brock, Tony Dunn in the Pirate Radio studios, Chandler Honeycutt, Shirley Rhodes as well. And we are talking NFL draft. It's coming up next Thursday. Tony will be live on YouTube, so check him out with the C3 podcast. Chandler Honeycutt going to be a part of that production. Our mutual friend CW has an annual draft party. I might be heading over there, but I'll make sure we'll have a second screen experience going on with the C3
right on
podcast, along with our the TV.
You can just pull it up and mute it.
And I guess you don't really care because you're doing your own show. Do you guys have a preference between ESPN and NFL Network? In fact, last year it became one show, I believe.
Was it?
If I'm not mistaken.
It's a testament what you guys do here all the time when you're watching football, and then you got the post game. It's hard to keep up with it, to be honest. As you're trying to manage the guests that are coming in, and I have a team that just sits around and talks. And now we finally have it so we have some capabilities so other guys can help bring some people in and do some different things. But you're usually so busy kind of keeping up with the comments, keeping up with the giveaways, keeping up with this. And
you're not paying attention.
You're just trying to keep. And then you'll wake up the next day and you'll be like, I don't even remember what happened. And then you go, wait a minute. There's probably the 12-pack of beer was also problematic in that too.
There's that, and it is kind of overwhelming. And you have to kind of reset the next day and say, okay, so who went where? Who's available?
And kind of get the bird's eye view again.
One more thing about Bridgewater, and I saw today Fitterer and Rule made some comments, and it was either one or the other that said Teddy Bridgewater is on the team. He's a part of the plan for 2021. Again, he could be involved in a draft night trade. If he's not, if he's still on the roster after the draft, what do you think, Tony? Does that mean he's on the team? Or a move could still be made.
Yeah, I think you're just kind of waiting because cutting him doesn't really save you any money, right? I mean, you end up having to pay him no matter what.
It could be one of those things, too, where if a QB goes down.
That's probably what they're waiting for.
Even preseason or even during the season, Teddy Bridgewater could be available.
I think the interesting news when it comes to quarterback is that Teddy is an afterthought by this team. If they're saying things like he's on the team, they're not really, he's not part of the plan. If he is part of the plan, things went bad. The other part is that they're waiting for draft night to see if they're going to offer Sam Darnold's fifth-year option. They have till May 3rd to make the decision. So that's 2 days after the draft. And they could if they pick up Sam Darnold's fifth-year option, that means they get him for 2 years instead of one. but they also have to guarantee that full $19 million in the second year. So if the Carolina Panthers do not get a quarterback in this draft in the first round, expect them to sign that 5th-year option. If they do get a quarterback, expect for that to be a big storyline over the next couple of weeks. And I really hope that we get a quarterback and Sam Darnold does fantastic and we just have a gluttony of riches and we have some hard decisions rather than the other decision, which is how
Darnold.
How are we going to get a quarterback? So
there you go.
Our worst case scenario could be positive. It's like you said earlier, if Sam Darnold just goes off.
Yeah.
If you have multiple quarterbacks, if you draft a guy.
Right.
Nick Sirianni, year 1, head coach, his first draft as the Eagles head coach. We talked about this guy when he got hired, Tony, because at his introductory press conference, he talked about systems.
He was
you
impressive.
put a system in, and it's going to be easy to learn.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard for the defenses and offenses, the opposing defenses and offenses to go against, but it's going to be easy for us to learn.
It was one of those things where he said a whole lot to really say nothing at all.
It was
bull crap.
I think he says, was it processes too? Or
it was processes and systems.
So it's just like, we're going to have the best processes. The processes are going to be spectacular. It's going to be very complicated, but since these processes are so good, it's going to be easy.
Again, nothing. He's saying nothing.
His press conference reminded me of some presentations that I did in college when I forgot to do it and it was the day to present and I had to just go up there and wing it.
Or one of those papers where they give you a minimum word or pages you have to do, so you really have to space that thing out with a bunch of words that don't mean anything.
So one of my friends said this is because I'm a teacher. It's you see a lot of different things and like whether it's trying to make a word count, the length, changes in font size. One of my friends said that in college he changed the size of his periods. So it added a little bit on to every sentence. I was like, wow, that's really next
Change
level.
the font size of the period so it kind of takes up an extra space maybe.
Yeah.
That could go a long way.
That's what I thought. I was like,
especially if you have short sentences and just bust those periods out.
This process was good. The process is better.
I'm going to use ellipses, so I have 3 periods, which is like 6 spaces.
So the thing about Nick Sirianni is, a lot of people were making fun, well, including us. We were making fun of him on the day that he got introduced as the Eagles head coach. He had I think we're about to play this cut in a little bit. He had talked about rock, paper, scissors.
That's where we're going with this.
But on Twitter the other day, Eagles Twitter likes this guy.
Yeah, well, of course, everybody likes the guy until they don't. The thing is in January he introduced us to his philosophy, which his philosophy was get the good coaches in place and then implement the systems and the processes. So we were all dying to know what these systems and processes were. And this week, we just learned what this process or system is.
All right, Shirley, let's hear the system to find out how competitive players are that he might be drafting beginning on Thursday.
And I'll tell you, I think some of you guys are wondering, like, what game? We didn't go earth-shattering on these games, right? I played a couple of them at rock, paper, scissors, right? That was as easy as that. Rock, paper, scissors. Let's see how competitive you are. I'm competitive. I'm going to be talking trash to them. Did you talk trash back to me? Right? Jeopardy. There's different ways to do it. It looks a lot of different ways. But our coaches got so creative with this. Like Jeff Stoutland, Brian Johnson. Like they did just such, Aaron Moorhead. They all did a great job, right? Tracy Rocker, Jeremiah Washburn, they all did a great job of just figuring out how to compete. Because everyone's compete looks a little different. Like if I get up there, I play them rock, paper, scissors. They got a little more creative than I did at times. So it was awesome, though, because it did anything you compete at. When you compete with somebody that's competitive, they're going to go at you no matter what game you're playing. Leslie, you can play rock, paper, scissors when we get in person together.
All right. That would be great.
Sure. I sound so competitive, don't I?
That would be great.
I tell you one thing, is he wanted creativity. I would have loved for him to do this with Steve Smith on draft day or on that week, and Steve Smith would have gone, rock, paper, punch you in the face.
Nah, he would have been like, rock, paper, scissors.
All right, so who wants to play?
I got you.
All right.
Let's go. All right.
I'm competitive. I want to play.
Sorry. Wait, this guy's competitive. We're drafting him first. All right, so we're going 1, 2, 3, and then shoot. Okay. 1.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah! In your face! In your face!
Best 2 out of 3. Best 2 out of 3.
Boom! Boom!
He didn't fall for it. That's usually my game plan, is to throw 3 papers in a row, and nobody's like, nobody ever throws 3 papers.
Not only am I competitive, I'm smart.
Yes, and I tell you this is, if I play a guy in charades and he doesn't cry by the end of it, I don't believe he's really invested.
So how competitive are you? Nick Sirianni found out via rock, paper, scissors on Zoom, which with the lag and bad Wi-Fi, that could get tricky.
Man,
get some cheating going on.
You're gonna induct Jason Peter. Was that their left tackle? Peters gonna induct him into the Hall of Fame, and the speech, the coach is gonna give it to him. He's gonna be like, "Man, I could not tell you how competitive this dude was at rock, paper, scissors when I met him. I knew that he was a leader the first day I stepped into this locker room, and he said, 1, 2, 3, shoot, and it was over then."
So what if they did rock, paper, scissors with like Jake Verity, and Jake Verity got pissed because he lost in rock, paper, scissors, and that was their first pick because he was so competitive in rock, paper, scissors.
You have to be competitive.
Look, we really need some line help. We need an impact receiver, but
this Jake Verity
kid, kicker really took paper, rock, scissors completely.
He was creative. He was creative.
Yeah. So that's the system, the process.
Or what? Yeah, if you passed on a guy, just wasn't our type of player.
Yeah.
Why? He threw 3 papers in a row.
He doesn't change with the process.
A key part of our system is adaptability. Mm-hmm. It's a process that we work so that when we get into the game, we don't have to adapt because we already have.
And it's going to be easy to learn.
Easy to learn. Nah, I like this. Look, the guy's excited. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's a good thing.
He's like giddy talking about he's excited to be a coach. So if people like it, then they like it. But this is actually no more ridiculous than the question that Matt Rule asked. It's no more ridiculous than these. Supposedly the Giants have a 300 question thing they give them, and it's like, would you rather be a cat or a dog?
Don't y'all miss Dave Gettleman?
Oh, of course. Somebody just put up, what happens when Dave Gettleman trades back one spot just to try the whole world? But the idea that I was thinking is, and I heard Ross Tucker talking about this, is that he was not amused by this rock, paper, scissors conversation. But he did say, like, they ask you this question about, would you rather be a cat or a dog? And they do all of this, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And then you ask them, so I hear you wrote, I heard you got arrested in your second, you throw them off guard, I guess. I don't know what it is. Is it an icebreaker? Is it meant to kind of get them to loosen up to where they're not doing the pre-rehearsed type answers? I'm not really sure.
Pre-rehearsed.
Is it just kind of a tradition at this point? But what was it? Who was it? The one, wasn't it the Saints coach that asked the guy if he was gay once? Mm-hmm. And there's some different things. So I guess they're like, oh, we're just trying to throw you off your game. I don't know. Man, try rock, paper, scissors next.
That's
probably more friendly than asking it.
Here's a good one.
Someone's sexuality.
Do you believe in ghosts?
There you go.
Oh, how about Tuesday's news drop? I sent you guys something, and it was all because of our ghost discussion the week before. Somebody said, but somebody in the it was either online, like on Twitter or Facebook, but somebody said, well, what do you think about Sasquatch or Bigfoot? And then the next week, man, a documentary is coming out about Bigfoot murdering pot farmers in California. This guy said, say no to drugs.
Holden Ahlers has seen 2 big feet, and he has them on videotape. So,
I thought he just looked down.
Tony is a dad, and that was a great dad joke.
Whoa! What was that? That was Clip Brock.
What was I saying?
That was big. That was the first. That's the audio from the documentary.
Do you like Jeff Schwartz? I feel like you've talked about him before. Right?
I don't like him, but I follow him.
He is doing a John Gruden-esque like film breakdown, but he's doing it with the big uglies, the offensive linemen, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah,
and I will check that out coming up.
He's all right. He just wants you. He thinks he's the smartest dude ever.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? When he's doing videos about offensive linemen, I'll give him that.
Do you like Frank Garcia? He's kind of gone wild, hasn't he?
Yeah, he got arrested for
I just meant for his takes. But.
Yeah, but no. So this all started when he got fired from WFNZ because he got in an altercation with a woman in his neighborhood, kind of like a shouting, screaming match, probably over like politics or something like that, which he then does on the internet still.
Yeah,
he is wild. I think this is Jeff Schwartz knows things about football. Frank Garcia is just at this point the old dude that's crazy.
Yeah, screaming at clouds. All right, good enough. Let's get another break in. We'll come back. One more segment to go with Tony Dunn. We'll talk more NFL draft. Trevor Lawrence is looked at as the biggest can't-miss quarterback since Andrew Luck, I guess. We'll talk about that, the other QBs, and what moves we could see next Thursday, NFL Draft Night. And we'll talk about the Carolina Hurricanes. There is a scenario that could happen tonight, and if it does, the Canes will already clinch a playoff spot. So we'll talk about that.
We ain't even playing.
And more. Exactly. They're off tonight, could clinch a spot, could party on an off night. We're back with you after this.
0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar, full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero, 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
The best place in Greenville to unwind after work and have fun is AJ McMurphy's. AJ's has daily food and drink specials and an awesome patio perfect for some outdoor dining. Stop by AJ's on Monday for open mic, music on the patio on Tuesday, sports trivia with me, Clip Brock, on Wednesdays, and music bingo on Thursday. AJ McMurphy's, Turnberry Square at Bells Fork, and on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
At Tiebreakers, we pride ourselves on serving
big, juicy wings.
I'm talking
big and juicy.
Our chickens are the same ones that kick sand in the other chickens' faces. If our chickens played football, they'd be linebackers. The competition's chickens, they'd be
skinny little kickers.
Trade those kickers in for linebackers.
Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates.
Every team knows that the two-point play can be a winning move. That's why I'm here. State Farm agent Timothy Sawyer and my team are here to help you go for two by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score some savings by combining your home and auto. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me, Timothy Sawyer, at 493-0002 today.
Been pulled over for speeding and written a ticket? Then you need to call O'Neill's Speedometer Service in Greenville. O'Neill's can calibrate all vehicles for speeding tickets. All-wheel drives, no problem. 18-wheelers, no problem. Motorcycles, no problem. O'Neill's can also repair instrument gauges that have stopped working. Whether you drive a Ford or GMC, Greenville's trusted speedometer shop for over 30 years is O'Neill's. Call today for repairs or calibration work at 756-5050. O'Neill's Speedometer Service. Go Pirates.
University PC Care has been the Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. They thank you for your continued support and trust during these trying times. Many services can be done remotely and free pickup and delivery is available. As a Dell business partner and Apple authorized service provider, you can count on University PC Care for all your personal and business tech support needs. To make a remote appointment or to bring in your device for service at their Greenville or New Bern locations, call 558-1280 or go online at universitypccare.com.
Hey Pirate fans, this is Coach Joe Dooley. The physicians at Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center have been caring for our athletes at East Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for your sports injury or it's time for a joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care, physical therapy, and diagnostic testing. For experience and professional services, call the folks at Orthopedics East at 252-757-2663 or visit them online at orthoeast.com. Go Pirates!
This is Coach Blake Carroll, defense coordinator for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. For the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner, be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our social media on Facebook and Instagram at PR927FM. And you can follow us on Twitter at FreePR927FM. Join the close to 50,000 followers today at PR927FM. Now let's head back into PRL. Here is Clip Rock.
All right, I'm the day late. I'm the kid that wants to be in with the cool crowd that can't quite get in. I'm wearing sweatpants today. Yesterday, Chandler and Stephen Igo wore sweatpants in here, and Shirley wasn't wearing sweatpants, but you were wearing
track pants.
Track pants, which are like the classier cousin of
the lighter
sweatpants.
version of sweatpants.
Yeah,
and
It's
so
sweatpants
now
light.
today she's wearing jeans. I'm wearing khakis.
Tony's wearing jeans,
and you're on an island by yourself.
Yeah.
You're just the cool kid.
So, well, no,
You're
I'm
just
not.
like-
I am for the second straight day outside of the cool club.
You're just on the island listening to Dave Matthews Band. I gotta say, following Pirate Radio, free Pirate Radio, sounds like a superior system for winning. Process.
I would
It's a
do that
winning
if I were
process.
you, because we have.
you could win all this beer right here.
That is true. If you follow us on Instagram, we're doing a giveaway today, Tony.
Ooh,
if you're not
the gram.
If you don't win on our program in hour 3, you can win it on the gram.
Wait, there's more.
What?
Oh, never mind.
You should have said that before. Yeah. There is a poll up on free PR927FM on Twitter. Do you plan on attending the ECU football spring scrimmage on Saturday?
Is it like tomorrow?
It's at 1
It
o'clock
is tomorrow.
How much did it cost to get in? Free?
Free. Absolutely.
Is it
Free.
By the way, time has been moved up to 10:30.
What's the limit on how many people they're taking?
We're going to have a scrimmage.
Shirley, here's what Mike Houston had to say about it last Saturday when we weren't even supposed to be having a spring game scrimmage.
Well, we're going to have one. We're having one next week at 1 o'clock in Daddy Ficklin Stadium. Whoever wants to come can come.
And I don't know how closely...
Take that, Roy Cooper.
Well, and maybe John Gilbert. I don't know how closely you've been following this, but the early in April, the ECU spring game was canceled and everything going on with it. And Mike Houston was kind of asked about it. You know, you had a few parents in the stands today, but you couldn't get the crowd, and you won't have a crowd next week. And then he kind of said, well, we're having it at 1 o'clock.
What the hell are you talking about?
Well, we're going to have one.
It might not be here. It might be at Rose High School.
Then ECU had to come out and say, all right, fans, you can come out and check out the team at 1 o'clock. Like,
Thank you, Mike Houston.
He may have gone rogue a little bit.
I like it.
Well, we're going to have one.
Greatest coaching decision so far. In fact, that's the competitive nature I want in my coach.
Mike Houston's one of the
ranch on it.
That guy's my dude.
They are still in the playoffs, by the way. Washington is riding this, and I don't know if you've seen it, Tony, on Twitter.
Can we go to a game?
We're going to have one.
We're going to do it.
Well, we're going to have one.
There's fans wearing Put Ranch on it. You know when the high school team runs out
I saw that.
Through the paper, it said put some ranch on it. Like,
Put some ranch on it.
This guy is my dude.
Yeah.
I love him.
Look,
my favorite coach in America.
He's going to be the Eagles head coach one day, and everybody's going to freak out when he starts talking.
He's going to go like this. Is the first question he asked that draft kid is ranch or blue cheese?
Coach, welcome to the Eagles. What's the first thing you're going to do with your cheesesteak you get?
Put some ranch on it.
All right.
Coach, do you like Pats or do you like this? I don't know. Just put some ranch on it.
Ranch on Perio.
Quante Schmeier.
Thank you, Josh Graham. Quante Schmeier.
Quante Schmeier.
Tony, the hurricane. I like him.
Who's that?
That is a caller who.
Hey, I'm sorry. All right.
He
was tore up.
I'm a dork. Oh boy! All right, Shirley getting loose with the soundboard on a Friday. I love it. Tony, the Hurricanes won last night. I didn't watch it. You did. You showed me a picture where they had 4 guys in the penalty box at the same time.
There was a scrappy game. It started off a little sluggish, and then there was a fight that just broke out between. Hold on. Why is my name?
Well, this is par for the course for you.
Paquette. Got it. Paquette and this one guy from from Florida that I don't know. All of a sudden, he just wanted to fight. I guess he was trying to pump up the Panthers. Again, a Carolina Hurricane lost the fight. Listen, we're not very great fighters. The last two, Martinook got pummeled the night before.
That's a bad combination. Get in a lot of fights, lose a lot of fights.
Except for when you win the game.
You got to win the game.
There was 9 power plays for the Florida Panthers. The Carolina Hurricanes successfully killed 8 of them.
Strong.
At one point, there were 4 Hurricanes in the penalty box all at the same time. One guy had to stand up.
Standing room only.
The COVID protocols were out the window at this point. And look, the Hurricanes are just playing great. Wherever you look, Ned and goal played fantastic. We have just so much talent, and we're really playing well as a team. And I think that beating Tampa Bay, we played them in a 2-game series. The first game they won, we came back and win the next game against the team that's really the toast of the town.
And they did get a point in that first game. They took it to overtime.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
That's something.
And so I think that's when we saw the corner kind of like turning for a team that's really ready to make a push. And then you beat the Florida Panthers. You take the first spot in the division. And like you mentioned, is that now you're ready to already secure your playoff spot. But I think this team wants more.
Yeah.
They're playing excited. And it's just so much talent on this roster. I've never seen anything like it. And Jordan Stahl's playing great, and he's like the old man on the team. It's fun to watch. The Nashis, the Aho goal, shorthanded. Last night, the Hurricanes played better shorthanded than they did when there were 5 men on the ice. They're just good. Just a good thing to watch. You should watch the Hurricanes on 10 more games to go. This is a year where it is Stanley Cup or bust for us, and that is awesome. Just 2 years ago, we weren't saying that.
One of the reasons there are so many fights this year, Tony, is the schedule. You're playing the same teams over and over, and a lot of times you're playing them back-to-back games, sometimes like 3 or 4 in a row.
Because you're only playing your division, right?
Yeah. And it seems like every night we're playing the Lightning or the Panthers, who are fighting us for the top of the division. But you mentioned it tonight. If the Predators beat the Blackhawks, flip that. If the Blackhawks beat the Predators, the Hurricanes clinch a playoff spot.
That's crazy. That means they're going to be sitting around celebrating, and they don't even have to go out there and fight. Yeah. They don't even have to go out there and win. Cool things that are happening, though, for the Hurricanes is despite the injuries, they've only had all players healthy on this roster the opening night of the season, I read. Despite injuries to critical players, whether it be Mrazek, whether it
Taravanen's been out all year, and I told you, Tony, it reminds me of a Michael Orr situation because it's concussion related. And it's like there's no timetable, it seems.
I think he returned for a game or skated in practice, and then it was like, nope, shutting him down
or
again.
Whatever. Yeah.
Shea is out with a concussion. You've got Brock McGinn, who's dealing with an injury. Martin got hurt last night. It doesn't matter. The next man up, young guys are stepping in. The team is so exciting to watch. And Nashis is just always involved in it. It's just fun. In fact, I'm getting to go on May 6th.
You're going?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Going.
Good deal. Who are you going to see him play?
We're going to play.
I'm going. We're going to play. I'll ask Tony this after Chandler because Tony has become very disenfranchised with the draft process. But Chandler, how far have you looked beyond round 1, or how much have you thought about it to say, all right, this is what I want, whether it be players, positions for the Panthers in this year's draft?
I have not looked beyond the first.
You are totally focused on that first pick and first pick only. Because last year, the Panthers went all defense, correct?
Every single one.
7.
7 rounds, 7 picks. So, Tony, how about you? As far as going beyond round 1, what do you want your draft to look like for the Panthers this year?
Well, I'd love to see a double dip on offensive line. Some point, second and third, first and second, first and third. We really always need to be. Our secondary could use some help. Right now, it's composed of A.J. Bouye, Dante Jackson. I almost said Deshaun Jackson. Dante Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson is a Ram now.
Really?
Yeah, I've forgotten that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Is that the secondary is still being piecemealed together. I'm just happy with offensive linemen. In fact, I would be okay. We have 6 picks in this. Let's trade one away. Maybe we gave up our 6 compensatory. Just take 5 offensive linemen. Okay with that.
What if they do this the rest of the rule era? Take one position group or one side of the ball.
It's just this year's offense.
They get totally fixated.
We found out, our scouts determined this is not a good defensive draft, so we're taking all offensive players, and then next year it's going to be like, this is a terrible offensive draft.
Are we still trying to look for a linebacker, or do you think we're content with Perryman right now? And Shaq.
No, I think that those guys can bridge, right? We're okay. Like if we don't get one, but that's a great point too. Is that maybe in the 4th round you're talking about? I think there's a couple out of Ohio State that are good. Micah Parsons is. I only know the top names, so it's like, hey, they can only be drafted once. But I've seen other teams do very well picking linebackers in the 2nd and 3rd. I mean, look at what Tampa Bay's done. They had Quan Alexander and not Devin White. He was number 1. He was a first round. Levante David, I think, was a 2nd or a 3rd round pick. So there's talent to be had there. And there's also one thing that's interesting. I've heard that this is like the thinnest draft class at defensive tackle. Literally, they are not big. They are slim. No, I'm saying. But is that some years there's just not a good amount of talent at a certain position. So I guess last year the Panthers need to get young and fast on defense in a hurry. They were able to do that. Gives them a lot of flexibility this year. Scott Fitter's offseason has made it so that the Panthers can just pick the guys that they have faith in at the right times. You got to start wondering too if the Panthers are going to pick a running back. At some point in this draft, you thought that we were going to be able to. We do it every year, and then we cut the guy 4th or 5th round pick. Who was the guy that we picked? Was it last year? Florida State, maybe Florida running back. God, what was
Scarlett. Jordan Scarlett.
Yeah, and so
he's no longer.
And then he's not with the team, and right now it's just Christian McCaffrey, and that's it.
And
I tried to get you excited about drafting a running back, and you said you didn't want to.
Well, late. It would just have to be.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, 5th, 6th, 7th, you get a guy, and he's cheap, and get excited about it.
So excited. They're all going to be awesome.
You've gone too far
They're
on
all
my
going to
side.
be awesome. No, I
can't have two me's.
I just want to see the names first, and then I'll get excited. I'll be excited about every one of these players when they're drafted until August.
That's what I like about the draft when they're showing the best available, and I go, I want that guy.
Yeah, because you've seen him in college.
Yeah,
Tony, this guy's us. Rick Gosselin, he's more of us than we are. He's covered NFL for 49 years. He said, how times have changed during the 20 years I produced mock drafts. I did 3 each year, spaced out by a week leading up to the draft. This year, the Huddle Report and its army of draftniks have produced 52 mocks, and we're still a week away. And the first 2 comments are, I used to really enjoy mock drafts. Now it's information overload. And then the second comment is, so over these mock drafts, now we can look forward to 1 million draft grade articles right after the draft. So, it is super overloaded.
But this is what happens when the coverage gets just immensely. It's just grown exponentially over the years,
and everybody's doing one, and
and I'm okay with some people doing a mock for fun to see how things shake out. It's just even when the big news outlets are like mock draft 7.2,
7.8, yeah,
and then they have to, and it feels like they're manufacturing information or manufacturing storylines. So then you'll get Chris Sims that come out and say, well, Zach Wilson's my number 1, and I've got Trevor Lawrence as my 8th quarterback. It feels like at times they just have to do that to pierce through the noise, and that's why it's fatiguing. But you know what? I haven't really even paid attention to it a lot, so it hasn't really bothered me.
Tony, you got a show coming up Tuesday as normal, right?
Yes.
So you'll have
we're going to be doing a mock draft.
And then you will have your draft special coming up on Thursday.
With yours truly.
And we'll all reconvene on Friday, hungover, and talk more about it.
Yeah, we will go through our draft grades. What are you doing this weekend? You going to go to the game?
I got baseball Saturday, Sunday.
Yep. Mortal Kombat? I plan to watch that. I'm ready for that.
While playing some MLB The Show as well.
Did you get a new one?
Get practicing.
Nice.
So, we got busy weekends on tap.
I was supposed to play some last night and get some practice in, and I went home, and my roommate was playing and never got a chance to.
Shut you down with a shoulder injury.
You got to get some swings, get some hacks in,
Gotta get some hacks in, bro.
All right. Let's, thank you, Tony.
Is it can't you play against each other?
What do you mean?
He was doing like a he's doing like a franchise.
Okay.
No, he won't let Chandler play. Get out of my room,
Mom. He's not letting me play.
He ruined my friend.
That used to piss me off when my mom would come in my room and say, "Let your brother play. Let your brother play."
Now you're the brother.
Yeah,
you just want to play.
Basically.
You know, one last point before we go is that isn't it interesting that when we used to be kids and we used to be so pissed sitting on the couch watching somebody else play video games?
Yes.
And now there's like streamers where people just sit around.
People make millions for it. Yep. Wow, times have changed. I'll take a time out, come back. When we return, we've got news and notes to get to. Some not so great news regarding ECU, I shouldn't say that, NCAA regionals and super regionals and attendance. We will talk about that. We will soon hopefully have a final from Clark LeClaire Stadium that we will pass along, and more when we return on Pirate Radio Live here on a Friday. Back with you after this.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
John Gilbert, ECU Athletic Director.
For the immediate future, there are really three things I'm kind of focusing on. One is stabilizing our budget. Two, competitive excellence. We need to win. And then the third piece would be our student-athlete life.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
You've worked hard to start your business and are working even harder to make it successful. That's when it's most important to have a community bank and a local banker in your corner. This is Eric Clark from Select Bank and Trust. Our team of local bankers care about you, our customer, and the communities in which we all live and serve together. As the business and economic conditions of 2020 threw you many curveballs, our team at Select Bank and Trust remains steadfast in being responsive to your ever-changing needs. In 2021, choose Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select, member FDIC.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
If you wake up in the morning with a backache, feeling more tired than you did when you went to bed, you probably need a new mattress. And the best place to get that mattress is Factory Mattress. Hi, I'm Kirk Smith, General Manager. For more than 40 years, Factory Mattress has been Greenville and Wilson's local mattress dealer. We guarantee the lowest price on the area's best selection with over 50 models to choose from. No seconds or overruns. Factory Mattress offers only first quality direct from the manufacturer. Sealy Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. The most highly trained sales associates with over 60 years of combined experience. Same as cash financing with zero interest up to 48 months and free local delivery. Face it, to have a good day, you've got to have a good night. So sleep better knowing you saved money at Factory Mattress, locally owned on Greenville Boulevard in Greenville, on Forest Hills Road in Wilson, on the web at factorymattressusa.com, and a proud member of Pirates Supporting Pirates.
At US Cellular, we see our customers as more than just customers. They're neighbors. When you switch to US Cellular, you can get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G for free with no hidden requirements. As a neighbor, you deserve it. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
Does the idea of going to your local U.S. Cellular store make you feel a bit uncomfortable? Tired of the hassle of waiting and wearing a mask? Let Toby Williams and his outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent. East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Bone. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Did you miss a show on Pirate Radio? Listen to all of Pirate Radio's archived local programming by subscribing to us on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe today by going to the podcast app on your iPhone or Apple device and search for Pirate Radio Audio Archives. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Rock.
Alrighty, back with you on Pirate Radio Live here on a Free Beer Friday. Stay tuned. Hour 3 of today's show will be giving away some free beer from Michelob Ultra Infusions, a superior light beer infused and loaded with exotic taste and free from artificial colors and flavors. It's beer meets exotic fruit, only at 95 calories per bottle. We'll be giving away a case of Michelob Ultra Organic Pack, Michelob Ultra 6-pack cooler and bucket, a large pizza from Domino's, and a new Pirate Vibes Only t-shirt. So that can be yours in Hour 3 on Free Beer Friday. All right, let's get to some news and notes on the day before we move on to Mark Greenhalgh and also our trio of former Pirates. We got Jake Verity coming up in about 40 minutes. We've got Blake Proehl at 5 o'clock. We've got Deontay Smith at around 5:20. So we're going to hit those interviews coming up later on today's edition of Pirate Radio Live. But first, we'll update you on what's going on here locally and beyond. And we'll go to the Shirley Rose news desk for that. Hello, Shirley.
Hello, Clip. How are you?
The 1-0. I am doing great.
The 0-0.
Neither one of us are doing as great as Chandler, who has just been in a mood today.
Yeah, he's been, well, for lack of a better term, a few French fries short of a Happy Meal today.
That's well said. I like that.
His elevator doesn't reach the top floor.
It's kind of like when your wife drives off a cliff. Hit the first. Do you still have Bob Green from yesterday? Just hit the first one, he says. That's my favorite one.
Let me see if I still have it.
It should be in green. Bob
Green. No, but I can pull it up real quick. Yeah. It won't take but a second.
I want to hear him again because
Bob Green.
I just want to hear the first one. It's just so good. ECU 1 out away from winning Game 1 of the doubleheader 4-2 right now, and Matt Bridges is throwing those.
You want the montage?
No,
no. It's this one right here.
Yeah, the one with the date behind it.
And that's a double-edged sword, It's kind of like watching your mother-in-law go off a cliff in a Cadillac. You got mixed feelings.
There you go. That's the one I wanted to hear. Chandler, what has led to your mood today?
I don't know.
Friday, good weather.
I'm like this every Friday.
And
it's Free Beer Friday, baby!
Holy cow.
That was loud. Shirley, what's going on at the Shirley Rhodes News Desk?
Well, ECU baseball in action, as you mentioned, 1 out away from picking up the first win of the series against UCF. They're going to, depending on what time they finish, they'll start Game 2 of the doubleheader today, 45 minutes later. So, roughly about 4:50 or so is when they will 4:55. So right around close to 5 o'clock, it looks like Game 2 will start. ECU softball is also in action. They're hosting Tulsa in Greenville as well at Max R. Joyner Stadium. And unfortunately, they fell 3-0 in Game 1. Next, the second game will be in about 30 minutes. So as far as the local stuff, that's what we've got so far.
Schedule changes for
Yes.
Saturday. The open scrimmage at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium will begin at 10:30 a.m., moved up from 1 o'clock. So 10:30 for football. Shirley, I guess, will you be at softball?
I will be at softball. They will play at 10:30 as well.
I will be at Clark LeClaire Stadium. They will throw out the first pitch at 11 a.m.
It's an early day for all of us.
They have a roster for the Purple Gold scrimmage that just came out.
I was trying to look at that while doing the show, and I saw Holt Nailers has both C.J. Johnson and Tyler Snead to throw to. So that offense looks pretty potent on that side.
For the Purple, your general manager is Fernando Fry. General manager for the Gold team is Warren Saba.
Warren Saba. I like his voice. So they did a draft, and they will be competing against one another coming up Saturday, 10:30 a.m. at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. I guess they're trying, with all these moves, football, softball, baseball, to escape some weather that could be coming in later in the day.
Yeah, I was looking at the weather forecast, so here is your Pirate Radio weather forecast.
Pirate Radio weather.
Pirate Radio weather.
Let's go to Mike Mays in the Weather Center.
It looks like what we're seeing right now is roughly about 12 o'clock or so. Things are going to start to deteriorate conditions-wise. It looks like between, I'd say close to about 3 o'clock is when we'll get some pretty rough weather, and then later into the evening as well. So a lot of rain in the forecast sometime after lunch, and so they're going to try to get all the games in, because they only play one game on Saturday and then one game on Sunday. So they're going to try to get those games in before the rain gets here.
All right. So
Owen Daffer on both teams for East Carolina.
We'll see if I wonder when he was added to the roster, Chandler. Do you know? I'll have to look him up.
2 years ago, maybe?
I wonder, because I want to see if Jake Verity can give us a...
He was behind Verity and Nations.
Okay.
And now has gone to where he is the starting kicker and the only kicker.
We'll see if Verity has a scouting report on Owen Daffer, who will be kicking. Also, one note, Chandler's guy, Jairo Wilson, he'll be the guy wearing 0 on the field tomorrow. Chandler still doesn't know how he feels about that. Or you feel negatively about that?
Well, first of all, I am a big Jairo Wilson fan. He could be wearing number 172, and I would love him. So, but number 0 is kind of weird to see. The number change, is that, especially for 0, is that just been implemented for college football?
I want to say that was last year people could start wearing 0, if I'm not mistaken.
I could see that maybe for a wide receiver, for an outside linebacker or edge rusher like Jairo Wilson. I couldn't see that, but I'm sure no matter. And I think Bruce Bivens has changed his number. I think maybe Xavier Smith has changed his number. I'm not sure, but a few Pirates you might
consult your rosters.
You might have to look at the roster to figure out who these guys are.
All right, earlier today from Kendall Rogers, it says that the NCAA has announced that all spring sports championships, including baseball and softball, will have a maximum capacity of 50%, dependent on local rules, regulations. He says this was expected and is a mandate. Yesterday it was a recommendation. Today it was a mandate. I don't understand the recommendation part.
Explain this to me then. Because if they're mandating 50% capacity, but let's say your state is completely open, are you saying it's got to be 50% and no more?
I believe that is what I'm saying, yes.
Then the NCAA should just sit down and shut up, as far as I'm concerned.
It is a mandate for an NCAA event. What the state allows you to do has 0 bearing on an NCAA coordinated event. So there you go.
I have some sad news.
That is an absolute poor decision by NCAA, if you ask me.
Kendall Rogers says one thing to remember with this 50% capacity mandate from NCAA, schools have the flexibility to add seats to get more fans in the stands. He said that the AD at A&M did this spring with a lot of added bleacher seats, hashtag creative thinking. So maybe we could just fill the jungle with chairs and say that our capacity is now moved up 3,000 and get some more people in there. I don't know if they'll choose to do that, but he said that is an option.
I agree with what Troy said yesterday. It's a premature decision. You've got, they're going to announce the hosts when? Next, in a couple
May
of weeks?
10th.
Okay, so in a week or so, 2 weeks, you're going to have the host, and so the host sites will be announced in 2 weeks. Then you've got, maybe another week or two before these actual host sites have games? Am I correct in thinking that?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Okay, so you announced the host sites on the 10th.
Right.
Okay, so you have maybe another week or two before these sites actually host games?
It'll be even longer than that.
Even longer than that.
Yeah.
Okay, so why would you make this decision this far ahead of the game? It does not make sense. If it can't be about... I don't understand where they think that this decision plays into, because you've got some states that can't even allow 50% in their stadiums.
Let's use ECU as an example.
Okay.
The championship for... Where are we? Oh, okay. The championship for the AAC baseball tournament will be Sunday, May the 30th. We had the tweet from
Roy Cooper
earlier this week that says, if things keep going the way they are, I'm expecting to lift all restrictions June 1st.
Which would allow 100% into
ECU's regional would begin on June the 4th.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Why would you make this decision this far ahead when you have some states that are just about this close to going 100%?
Yep.
And that's what you want for the NCAA, do you not? Do you want to have capacity
You would
crowds?
think so.
You would think that they would, as much as they are hurting for money as far as ticket sales and everything else that kind of goes with collegiate baseball, and I'm not talking just baseball. I mean, you're talking about college, about how much of a hurting did they get with not having that many fans for the NCAA tournament. You know that they took a bloodbath in terms of money.
Yeah.
And so you've got a chance here to at least recoup something. It might not be nowhere near as close as maybe collegiate basketball, but you might be able to recoup some of your money, and you're going to make a decision like this almost a month and some change ahead of time in a state that potentially could go 100%. And it's not just going to be ECU. What if North Carolina hosts? What if NC State hosts? Now you're taking away from them as well, because you're saying 50%, and that is it. And then you're going to give a host, let's say you give a host a bid to another school that's in a state that can only allow 20%. You're not going to make any money off of them, at that point.
This is stupid.
This is stupid. I just, sometimes the NCAA makes decisions just to be making them, I think. I don't think that they don't take an ounce of consideration and thought and process into anything, because it just does not. It is an absolute dumb rule, and I think it's an absolute dumb decision at the absolute wrong time.
I think that absolutely
seriously
serious
don't call me Shirley.
That most people are 99% of people are going to agree with you, Shirley, and I'm one of those peeps.
Because if ECU has if ECU wins a bid and gets a hosting gig here, open up the gates, fill it up. We've been waiting all year for this. We've been waiting for over a year for this.
People have their vaccinations now. Not everybody.
Not everybody, but at least a good portion of people have at least one of the two shots if they needed it.
I'm with you. I have nothing to add.
You know what I'm saying? I just think it's absolutely whoever made this decision and whoever decided that this was a great idea needs to be taken to the woodshed.
The gates are going to be open. They can come if they want to. If they don't want to, they don't have to.
Yeah, I'm wondering how this is going to be enforced.
Yeah, how do you enforce that? Are you saying even if you're in a state that allows 100%, what is the NCAA going to do? Are they going to tell you,
what you going to do?
I mean, because by the time that they make this decision for a bid, obviously, when the bids go out, our state has not made a decision yet because we won't have that decision until June.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you saying? Are you saying that you got to have 50%, or if you go over your 50% because your state is allowing everybody in, are we taking that away from you?
Well, some of these
there's going to be some
already,
level of. Are they threatening some level of punishment on that?
They're already packing the parks in some of these SEC spots.
That's
that
what
are
I'm
going to
saying.
be
Why
hosting.
would they make
so now
these-
they're going to have to go down in attendance. I don't know.
That's an absolutely idiotic move.
We just need Billy Weaver to ask Cliff Godwin, hey, Coach, congratulations on hosting a regional. It's going to be a bummer not having a full capacity. We're going to have a game.
Anybody that wants to show up can come.
Everybody
Well,
can
we're
come.
going to have one. We're having one next week at 1 o'clock in Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. Whoever wants to come can come.
We just got our answer. Move the regional to Dowdy Ficklin. Put a field in there, Joey Perry, and then we get $25K in there for baseball.
That would be.
Joey Perry would have a heart attack.
All right. I'm a solutions guy.
Look. I have no doubt in my mind that Joey Perry could do it.
I think Mike Houston would have a heart attack.
But I'm thinking there's going to be some folks that are not going to be too fond of that decision.
All right, we got to go to break.
I don't know if y'all have mentioned it, but there is some sad news out of college basketball. Terence Clark passed away yesterday in a car crash. Terence Clark declared for the NBA draft, so he was a big prospect coming up in this year's draft. So
awful.
Yep.
Also, some golf news. No HV3 this weekend. It looks like he and his partner Brandon Grace are going to miss the cut at their team event. They are 4 under par. The cut line right now projected to be 5 under par. So it looks like they're going to miss it by 1 stroke. All right, let's get a break in. We'll come back. We will talk a little golf.
Greeny.
With Greeny. Mark Greenhalgh. We'll talk about HV3's strong performance last week, what's going on this week, and more when we return on Pirate Radio Live. Back with you on a Friday after this.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Big Ed Watkins here from Ed Watkins Marine. You use the internet to shop for clothes to cars, so why not use it to shop for boats? Get your best price now at Ed Watkins Marine. We are located in Lake Norman, but we will deliver anywhere in North Carolina. From offshore center consoles and bass boats to just cruising or fishing the lakes of the intercoastal waterways, we have something for everyone. Go online now at Ed Watkins Marine and see our selection. Stick with a pirate and shop Ed Watkins Marine for all your next boats.
White Claw Hard Seltzer, a wave of refreshment. Crafted using our unique Brew Pure process. Made pure. Nothing tastes like White Claw Hard Seltzer.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. Available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage. Please drink responsibly.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
Hello, this is Michael McGraw from Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center of Greenville. We offer a variety of services including arthroscopic surgery, sports medicine, carpal tunnel and general orthopedics, fracture care, total joint replacement, physical therapy, and on-site MRIs. For experienced professional medical care, visit our office on W.H. Smith Boulevard in Greenville and online at orthoeast.com. Orthopedics East providing services to ECU and Pitt County Athletics for over 35 years. Go Pirates!
Let us help you get back to business. This is Donald Stocks and Justin Judge of PIP of Eastern North Carolina. We're ready to assist your business with branded PPE. Would you like face masks with your logo? We can do that. Plus custom social distancing signage. Now is the time to ramp up your marketing efforts. Whether it's cutting edge, contactless, touchless marketing, or traditional direct mail, we can do it all. We are PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
Introducing Tommy Club, the best car wash value anywhere. Starting at just $19.99 a month, you can wash your car as often as you like, and also take advantage of our express lanes exclusively for Tommy Club members. You can enjoy a gentle belt conveyor ride to a spot-free shine faster and as often as you like when you're a member of Tommy Club. Plus, our vacuums and mat washers are always free. We're Tommy's Express.
Tommy's Express Wash, now open on the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road in Greenville.
North Carolina State Parks is proud to announce that they have partnered with the Hometown Strong program. Our visitor centers are now equipped with public Wi-Fi to help kids with school. Remote learning has become a critical public health measure in maintaining social distance and continuing to educate our young people. Take advantage of Wi-Fi and a hike at Goose Creek State Park or a day trip to the beach and access remote learning at Fort Megan State Park. For more information, visit hometownstrong.nc.gov.
Here with Melissa from ENS Hemp Company. Melissa, tell us how your products and services can help people.
Well, for over 2.5 years, the team at ENS Hemp Company has been helping educate our community on the many benefits of our products. Our customers have seen great success dealing with everything from stress, anxiety, fatigue, pain, and PTSD, just to name a few. You can come in today and our staff can help you find the best products for your needs. You can visit us at Fire Tower Road near Sam Jones Barbecue or enshempcompany.com.
This is Coach Steve Shankweiler, offensive line coach for East Carolina University football. And you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Jersey Mike's is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. You can order in-store or you can order online through the Jersey Mike's app. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
Back with you on Pirate Radio Live here on a Free Beer Friday. Got our giveaway coming up in Hour 3. Got a trio of great interviews coming up with Jake Verity, Blake Proehl, Deontay Smith beginning in about 15-20 minutes right after we talk to Greenie, Mark Greenhalgh from the Golf Shop Radio Show. You can hear it Saturdays right here on Pirate Radio, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And Greenie joins us now on the Fixed NC Live line. Mark, how you doing today?
I'm doing awesome, Clip. How you doing?
Hey, fantastic. And I tell you what, Mark, before we look at what's going on now and look ahead, let's look back at last week. And it was a great week for our guy, Harold Varner III, finishing tied for second. A nice payday for him. We just talked to you last Friday about what he can do to walk the greens there, the fairways there at Augusta. What does he need to do? And he needs to win a tournament. He needs to play well and improve his standing, and he went a long way in doing that last week, Mark. So it was nice to see HV3 there tied for second at the the Heritage last week.
Yeah, and I think we talked about when he's had some good rounds, he's put together the greens and regulation and the putting. And when he hasn't had good rounds, it seems like a lot of the stuff's been there and the putting hasn't been. So it's really going to come down to, for him, it's going to come down to the flat stick, in my opinion. And obviously we know it's very hard to win on the PGA Tour, and it's going to take some nerves coming down the stretch. And Harold's getting closer. He's had some opportunities. And a lot of times, sometimes for you to get that first win, you have to go out and you have to post a number, and, maybe you get a turn in the weather, maybe, a storm comes in and the leader kind of loses his mojo a little bit when he goes back out, and he kind of lays an egg coming in, and, next thing you know, you're hoisting a trophy. So, at this point, it might take a little bit of luck for Harold, but he's certainly closing in on it, and, you can certainly say he's making a pretty good living, especially with a second place finish.
And also, Greenie, he has, I guess, when he's been close, he has struggled a few times on Sundays. And I don't know, maybe mentally, can a good Sunday go a long way? Can you kind of think back to that if you're on a course trying to win a tournament and say, all right, I've been here before, I've done well the final 18. Maybe something he can kind of build upon having a good Sunday last week.
It goes both ways. I mean, obviously success can help you create more success, but, a lot of guys will say that they probably learn more from their failures. We know that, unless you're Tiger Woods and you win, 20% of the tournaments that you ever enter, That's a totally different level. But, these guys, they might win, 1-2% of the golf tournaments that they ever play in their entire life. So you're more used to losing than you are winning at the top levels in professional sports, especially in an individual sport where you're competing against 140 guys just about every week. So, I have heard a lot more guys say, yeah, I learned a lot more from that failure. And you kind of get the sense of, maybe if you had the lead and you lost it on the back nine, that you kind of got that feeling like I got nervous, or I made a couple birdies and got in front and my adrenaline got going, and then I hit something over the back of the green because I hit it a half a club further because of the adrenaline rush. And you learn that stuff, and then you can pull on the good and the bad to help yourself out. So there's a combination of things that will help you win a golf tournament.
And let's mention last week's winner, Greeny. If you ask me, as a very novice, I know a little golf. I do not follow it as closely as others, but if you ask me if Stuart Sink was on the PGA Tour or the Seniors Tour, the Champions Tour, I would have guessed he was already advanced to the Seniors Tour. I don't know how old he is, but he has been around a while, Greeny. So when I saw his name and boy, he dominated last week. I was pretty surprised to see that.
Well, he's a few years younger than me, and he's 47 years old.
Okay.
And surprisingly enough, that win, him and Bryson DeChambeau were the only two-time winners this season on the PGA Tour. So
wow.
He won an event late last season, and he really credits this to a fitness coach that's kind of given him. You see these guys, you see Bryson bulking up and all that stuff, and for Stuart Sink, it was more about the flexibility piece. I mean, I'm in the same shape. I mean, I've had a bad back, and I've gone to the chiropractor, and in all honesty, I haven't been to the chiropractor since October, and I've been doing a little bit more stretching, and it's the stretching of my hamstrings that have actually helped the lower part of my back. And when you look at it from Stuart Sink's perspective, he said he's gotten the flexibility back, and because he's gotten flexibility back, and he's added just a little bit of weight training, not a whole lot, but he's actually hitting it 20 yards further now than he did about 12 months ago.
Wow.
So I think when you look at it, that's the deal, is that if you can keep the flexibility a little bit longer, and when you watch some of these analysts, I mean, you look at Phil. Phil's never had a back problem, but you look at the fact that, he does overswing a little bit, but he's still got the flexibility. And I think that's what you look at, is that if you can keep that flexibility, you can be competitive. And one of the things Stuart Sink showed is that on certain golf courses, he can still compete. Harbortown is one of those courses. It's not tremendously long. You have to put your ball in the right spot to have an angle to the flag. And the greens are very small. So if you're hitting a lot of greens, because you're hitting a lot of the right spots of the fairways, you're going to have a lot of looks at birdies. You get a hot putter. Next thing you know, you're a 47-year-old winning for the second time in this season.
Talking to Mark Greenhalgh, he is one of the hosts of the Golf Shop Radio Show. You can hear it 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Pirate Radio on Saturdays. Greeny, how about the event that's going on right now, the Zurich Classic of New Orleans, and it is a pairs event. HV3 paired up with Grace and a lot of golfers in this field. How do you like the change up from the norm? Do you like this kind of event?
I mean, it's all right. It's one of those events that's kind of in the midst of some bigger events, so they felt like that they needed to make a change. I actually think you're going to get to see an event like this on the LPGA Tour as well. So, we actually last week we had a question like, if you could create a two-man event, what would you do? And I actually kind of took it a step further than these guys went, because what are we always looking for on Sunday? We're always looking for more people having a chance to win. So in this particular event at Zurich, they play 4-ball on Thursday and Saturday, which is essentially what we call best ball. So they each play their own ball, and whoever has the best score in that hole, they take it. And on Friday and Sunday, they play foursomes, which is basically alternate shot. And it's the two formats that you see in the Ryder Cup and the President's Cup, right? So what you see on Sunday is these guys are going to be playing alternate shot. What I would love to see is, what if you played a two-man aggregate where both scores counted? One dude makes an 8, the other guy makes a birdie. Instead of being 1 under par, you're a couple over par for that hole. So you could literally say, man, if two guys get hot and they both shoot 5 under par and the leaders, shoot even par, next thing you know, you've made up 10 shots on the leader. So, but that's kind of what this event is all about. It gives an opportunity, and the way the teams are made up is that the first guy that's listed, for instance, if you say John Rahm, he gets to pick his partner. So they basically go and they say, okay, these guys are all in the field and they've committed, and they get to go pick their partner. So that's why you see some interesting combinations, and why 2 years ago you saw Brooks Koepka pick his brother Chase. I mean, Chase isn't a PGA Tour member, but Brooks could pick whoever he wanted to as long as they had some kind of eligibility or had played an event before.
Okay.
Picked his brother. So that's what you get with this event.
Mark, what about the news earlier this week? I'll read the headline. PGA Tour bonus program will pay players based on impact metrics rather than performance, and it is a $40 million bonus plan that will pay the top 10 players based on how much they, quote, move the needle, end quote. And further in the story, it says the idea is to reward players who drive engagement with sponsors and fans. So what are your thoughts on this idea, and how will we see this idea, in motion? What does it mean for the PGA Tour?
Well, I think the PGA Tour understands the old adage, you got to spend money to make money. And obviously, if you're going to reward guys to engage sponsors and move the needle with sponsors, what does that mean for the PGA Tour? Obviously, that means that the PGA Tour can charge more for sponsorship. So, it's going to make everybody more money. I mean, obviously, the sponsors are going to be happy because they're going to get more exposure. The players that move the needle from a social media perspective and engage in their sponsors are going to be happy because they're going to make money. And, of course, the bottom line is the PGA Tour is going to make money. And, they're going to be able to charge more for their product, whether it's online or over the airwaves. So, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I mean, some guys, could move the needle like Tiger Woods without doing a whole lot, like Jordan Spieth without doing a whole lot. Then you're going to have guys on the flip side of that who, might end up spending more time trying to move the needle than playing golf. I mean, I go back to, if you remember, years ago when you had the golf boys, you had Bubba Watson, Ricky Fowler, Hunter Mahan, Ben Crane. They became like a musical group, and made music videos. And I picked on them back then saying, hey, you guys are releasing a music video the week before the U.S. Open. Where's your focus going to be? Is it going to be focused on your music video or the U.S. Open? Well, if you looked at all their scores at the U.S. Open, you saw that their focus was on their music video and not the golf. So, from that standpoint, you could get some guys that end up spending too much time trying to do this, and it impacts their scores. So we know, golf is a focused sport, and if you're not focused, if anything takes your, distracts you, it's going to hurt your game. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out.
Mark Greenhalgh, Golf Shop Radio Show, joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. Mark, NFL Draft coming up less than a week from now on Thursday. We'll see one of your Clemson guys taken first overall in Trevor Lawrence. We'll see a number of Tigers taken in that draft. Anxious to see where Travis Etienne goes, the running back there from Clemson. But any draft talk coming up on the Golf Shop Radio Show this week? Or are you sticking to golf?
Oh, yeah, we'll talk to Bill Bender of the Sporting News, and we've been chatting with him about the draft. I mean, I saw a mock draft the other day that had Travis Etienne going as the first pick of the second round to Jacksonville. So how interesting would that be if Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne get to hook up again? I wouldn't think it would be a bad thing for Jacksonville at all. But, yeah, it's still, other than Trevor Lawrence, we're talking about all these quarterbacks, but we're talking about, where they could go or who's going to pick who, and it seems like maybe San Francisco is looking at taking somebody, and the Jets are probably going to take Zach Wilson, and then who does San Francisco take? Is it Justin Fields? We saw Justin Fields come out with his medical issue, and that's not really going to impact his play, but it could impact his draft stock, which is sad to say, but. These are the things that happen, and this is why guys slide down the board, and we'll see what happens. But this is probably one of the more intriguing drafts. It's like we know who's going to get taken, we think, but we just don't know where they're going to go.
Yeah.
Most of the time, we can kind of most of the time, all these experts can probably slot the first 10 picks and get them all right.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. It kind of starts with 3, what the Niners do, and do the Falcons hold on to their pick? And if so, who do they take? Do they take a QB? Brian's getting older, or do they go with Pitts or one of those receivers? We shall see coming up next Thursday. What else you got planned for Saturday's Golf Shop Radio Show, Greeny?
Well, we're going to talk to one of our sponsors, Encore Golf's Brett Blakely, and then we're also going to go down to Innisbrook and talk to the managing director of the Innisbrook and Salamander Golf and Spa Resort, where they're going to be playing coming up. So we'll get a little preview of that event as well. And we'll pretty much talk about everything. We'll see how this tournament's going on. You got the LPGA playing. And we'll catch up with the Zurich, and there's lots of stuff going on, and then we'll see what our latest mock drafts are. And man, I'm telling you, I don't know who my Patriots are going to pick, but I hope it's not one of the quarterbacks. I'm still sold on Kyle Trask. For me, other than Trevor Lawrence, Kyle Trask out of Florida is my value quarterback.
Okay.
Because I think you could get him probably maybe late second, early third, and I think the kid's got some talent. So that's my sleeper for you from a quarterback perspective.
Well, Belichick knows a thing or two about value QB, so you could be onto something there, Greeny. Greeny, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, thanks. You have a good one, too.
Mark Greenhalgh, Golf Shop Radio Show, joining us today on Pirate Radio Live. You can check it out Saturday, 8 to 10, right here on Pirate Radio. Let's take a time out. When we return, we'll talk to former Pirate, hopefully kicking in the NFL in 2021. Jake Verity will join us on the Fixed NC Live line. After that, we'll talk to Blake Proehl. After that, we'll talk to Deontay Smith. Got a trio of Pirate interviews on the way on Pirate Radio Live, kicking it off with Jake Verity when we return right after this.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Ready to travel and take a trip? American Airlines has recently added more flights in and out of PGV. Book today and enjoy the friendly convenience of flying from your local airport. American Airlines, now with more flights available at PGV. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the Pirates fly. In studio today with Dr. Shondell Jones from Kinetic Physical Therapy. Dr. Jones, you guys can help people with any aches or pains.
Yep, we sure can. As it's getting warmer, we know more people are outside, wanting to be more active, and we know spring sports are in play as well. And so if you've got a knee or ankle injury, whether it's just a strain or a sprain, we've got specialists there to treat the weekend warrior and the athlete. For more information, visit us online at kptonline.com or call us at 364-2806.
Save during Bostic Sugg Furniture's Spring Styles event. Freshen things up, make a statement, and make it exciting. Save on new looks, new colors, new styles. We have so many beautiful ways to update your home. Explore our 35,000 square foot showroom. From name brands like Bassett, La-Z-Boy, Rowe, Kincaid, and Restana, get up to 15% off plus 6 months special financing, or get special financing for 48 months. Step up your style right now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is the home of the best margaritas. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Tuesday for the Gulp of Mexico, a huge 46-ounce lime margarita for only $6.99. On Thursdays, relax and enjoy half-price pitchers of Chico's house margaritas. Choose from lime, strawberry, blood orange, raspberry, or peach. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
Find new roads with Chevrolet. Then come find yours at Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville.
Join the staff at CPW's in Greenville for a classic road trip down Highway 61 as they feature excerpts from their classic Blues Highway food and drink menu. Come celebrate Blues Brothers Night every Thursday with bar specials. Open for lunch with new lunch specials and everyday features, including pizza, salad, and quesadillas. Also offering drop-off catering for work and school events. CPW's, Stanton Square, across from the hospital in Greenville.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Hey Birdland, the game plan is set and we're excited to welcome fans back to Oriole Park. To prepare, we've made updates to our game day policies to keep everyone healthy and safe. Oriole Park will feature limited capacity pod seating, digital ticketing through the MLB Ballpark app, contactless entry, and cashless transactions. All fans are required to wear masks and no outside food or bags will be permitted. The experience may be different, but the excitement is the same. Learn more about our game day health and safety policies at Orioles.com/welcome back.
Hi, this is Brian Meador from East Carolina Athletics. You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Did you miss a show on Pirate Radio? Make sure you can listen to all of Pirate Radio's archived local programming by subscribing to us on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe today by going to the podcast app on your iPhone or Apple device and search for Pirate Radio Audio Archives. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Rock.
All right, back with you on Pirate Radio Live on a free beer Friday. Coming up next hour, we'll make you a winner. And you can win a case of Michelob Ultra Organic Pack, Michelob Ultra 6-pack, cooler and bucket, a large pizza from Domino's, and a new Pirate Vibes Only t-shirt. That coming up in hour 3 of our program. We've also got a number of interviews to get to, including Blake Proehl at 5 o'clock, Deontay Smith around 5:20, and right now, joining us on the Fixed NC Live line, former East Carolina kicker. He is Jake Verity, back on the show once again. Jake, thanks for your time today. How you doing, man?
Good, Clip. How are you, man?
Fantastic, Jake. And NFL draft coming up on Thursday, and you hope to hear your name called in the draft. If not, a free agent spot for an NFL team, and want to talk about all the work you've put in, Jake, since you've been a Pirate and leading up to now the draft and to teams preparing to add some players to their roster. So I guess let's start there, Jake. What have you been up to? What has the day-to-day process been like working out for you as you try to become a professional kicker?
It's been pretty crazy, honestly. I've been really busy. I've been on the road a lot. I'm living at home in Bremen, Georgia, a little hick town in the middle of nowhere, and I commute to Birmingham probably 4 days a week on a normal week. If we get good weather. That's where my coach is based out of, my kicking coach. So I'm out there pretty regularly with a pretty stacked group of guys because competitive environment's the way to go. Honestly, that's how you get better. And there's probably 7 or 8 pro starting specialists out there that I kick with regularly and doing a lot of drill work, a lot of stretching. I'm in the weight room 5 to 6 days a week. But I'm feeling good. I'm 100%. I took the day today to kind of rest the leg. The nerves are starting to hit coming up for next weekend, though. It's kind of like Christmas Day as a little kid, times 10. So it's going to be an interesting week for sure.
Jake Verity joining us. Jake, the all-time leading scorer at ECU. You obviously have the physical part down, but that is something you're still working on. Can you work on the mental side of kicking? Is there anything you can do, or is that just you got to go through it on the field? You have to experience it. How about that part of it, the mental side of things?
I think that's arguably the most important. That's the most important character trait that a elite level kicker can have. As we all know, I mean, I had 99 attempts in college, and that's the kind of thing that you got to build from successful reps in a game situation over and over and over again. So it's one of the things I pride myself with. If somebody asks me who the best kicker in the draft class is, I'm going to tell them it's me, regardless of who my competition is, because if I'm asked to go hit a game winner in a huge playoff game in the NFL right now, I'm going to make it. So, I mean, if you want to perform at that level, you don't have a choice but to know you can go out there and perform at any in any situations. But yeah, so mental toughness and confidence is a huge factor in being successful at that level, I believe.
Jake Verity joining us. Jake, I guess Justin Tucker would be the standard. I'm a Washington fan. Dustin Hopkins has been a good kicker for Washington over the years. I'm following ECU football and talking about that all the time. I'm a Jake Verity fan. So what separates Justin Tucker from like a Hopkins and the other kickers, and what separated you, Jake, from the other kickers in college football? Like, how do you get to the top? Why is Justin Tucker better than all the other kickers in the NFL?
I mean, I'd agree with you on that. I would say Justin Tucker might be the best place kicker to ever walk the face of the earth. And just like we were just talking about, I mean, he's good, and he's really, really talented. He's got a strong leg. He's very accurate, and he knows it too. I mean, he walks out there, and I mean, he's excited to be out there. He's happy, excited to make a play, and that's kind of where I started to see success too in college, because my first year as a starter, I was in mid to high 60% makes, and that was back kind of when I was a little nervous to get my feet wet, scared to mess up, scared to have people yell at me, coaches yell at me, whatever. And I think a freshman kind of has to go through that. But when I started to see success and I hit that 90% season and the 83 or 84% season, that's kind of when I turned the corner and got really excited about going out there to make a play, and all eyes are on me, and you got to embrace it, because you all know, I mean, it's a team unit being out there on field goal, but everybody's staring at the kicker, and regardless of how well everybody else does their job, you got to put it through the uprights at the end of the day, and that's what I'm aiming to do. I'm aiming to be one of the best ever, and I'm pretty confident that I'm going to be able to do that. So,
Jake Verity joining us. Jake, have you had contact with coaches, with teams, as that process started yet for you?
Yeah, so I probably spoke with, probably 5, maybe 6 coaches before Pro Day, and maybe 8 or 9 total teams, various scouts, coaches, whatever. And then after Pro Day, after my performance at Pro Day, which I thought I showcased my leg strength really well, I had 5 or 6 new teams reach out to me. So roughly 13, 14 teams that I've had interactions with, and they're kind of steadily coming in as the draft approaches pretty quickly. As we all know, they're probably more worried about evaluating Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields early on, but kickers are going to come last, and that's kind of how it's looking. But it's still looking really good as far as free agency goes, priority free agency, and then, I mean, I'm still hoping to get my name called in the draft, but regardless of what situation I'm put into, I'm going to show up and I'm going to make some plays. So.
And Jake, they want to see you kick, obviously, what you can do physically, and then comes the get to know you portion. And in that portion, we have found out can lead to some really strange questions. And, earlier in the show today, we played the Nick Sirianni cut where he's talking about playing guys in paper, rock, scissors on Zoom just to see how competitive they are. We always hear the stories about, what kind of animal are you? Are you a dog or a cat? Have you got any of those weird questions from teams leading up to this process?
Yeah, I've heard some horror stories from other guys that have gone through the process about getting those weird questions. And, I mean, I had some fun answers ready to go, but for the most part, it kind of seems like they're just getting the feel for what kind of a guy I am on the field and making sure that I haven't been in handcuffs and stuff like that. So nothing too out of the ordinary. Obviously, I get pretty sweaty during those interviews, though, so it's still pretty nerve-wracking. But it hasn't been too strange yet. But I'll let you know if anything comes up.
Yeah, I want to hear the weirdest, and does that like I'm looking at the weirdest questions ever asked to prospects. Do you find your mother attractive? That is a very odd question. when did you lose your virginity? That just seems like a little intrusive. I don't know. So
a little invasion of privacy.
I would say so. Yeah, I would say so.
Ask you that.
So I don't know. Maybe I'll throw some of these at Blake and Deontay later and see how they handle it. Talking to
with it in the middle of the interview.
Yeah, just pop it up right out of the blue. Let's see how you handle it. That could determine whether or not you're going to be a great professional athlete somehow.
Got to make decisions on the fly.
There you go, Jake. So what is the timeline like? Obviously, the draft begins next Thursday, and then immediately after that, and I mean immediately, you will see teams come out with the list of undrafted free agents. So are you expected to kind of know something maybe by next weekend on what's next for Jake Verity?
Yeah, so typical kicker at a drafting level will go probably in day 5, round 5 through or day 3, round 5 through 7. At which hopefully I will get my name called. Obviously that's a very, very tough feat to accomplish as a place kicker. So if it's going to be a priority free agent deal, I've talked with guys that have gone through the process in the past, and they typically know in rounds 5 or 6 if there's a couple of teams that might be leveraging back and forth as far as who's going to pay a better signing bonus, who's got a better roster spot. I mean, just what the general situation is. It can be different for everybody. So I'll probably know Saturday, day 3, when what my own situation is going to be. But like I said, regardless of what it is, I mean, I'm going to be happy to get a chance. I mean, this is an incredibly rare opportunity to get to even have a shot at. And I mean, I'm grateful for everyone that's been along the way on the journey to get me here, and my hard work ethic and just different things that have gone into it. And I'm going to make the most of any chance I get.
Jake, I hope you know how appreciated you were as a Pirate. And we do our post-game show here, and we give out the Morgan Printer's performance of the game. And I said it when you would win quite a bit. It was kind of unfortunate that you'd win. That means not a lot of touchdowns were scored. But
right.
you won that award quite a bit. And also, it's so comforting knowing that the kicker spot was good heading into a year. And there's a bit of uncertainty this year with no Jake Verity on the roster. So, Owen Daffer will be doing double duty coming up at the scrimmage on Saturday, kicking for both teams coming up tomorrow at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. What can you tell us, if anything, about Owen? Do you have a scouting report on the guy we'll be seeing on Saturday?
I like Owen. He's a great kid. He told me when he showed up that he was there and he was ready to learn. So I showed him what I knew, just things that helped me out as a young kicker, and because I had Worth, Gregory, and Davis Plowman there, and they did the same thing for me. So it was my due diligence to give him the same care that they kind of gave to me, show him the ropes and whatnot. And he developed really quickly into a very accurate kicker, and his leg strength is there, and that's only something that the sky's the limit. I mean, it just depends on how much you get the weight room, weight that you put on, explosion that you kind of build up, and the biggest hump that you got to overcome is that first rep. And going out there and making that first kick and knowing that you have the ability to do it. And as that builds up over time, I know he's going to make lots of kicks and going to get his feet under him. His confidence is coming along. So I hope to see him excel and try to pick up where I left off when I was there.
Yeah, Jake Verity joining us, Owen Daffer double duty on Saturday. And also you mentioned Worth, Gregory, Davis Plowman. They've actually, they're training guys now, as you know, Jake, and I believe they're training a kicker that's going to be coming into the program later on this fall. So they helped you out, and they might be helping some future Pirates out as well.
Yeah, they're definitely still in the loop. I mean, it's hard to leave ECU and not still want to be involved, and they're doing a great job training guys out there in Raleigh. We've got Lath coming in, I believe, with this next signing class. He's walking on, and I've been to the field with him before, and he's got a really strong leg, and he's athletic. I think he plays quarterback and safety and some other positions at his high school. He's a really good kid as well. And as we know, I mean, bringing in a leg like that up against Owen, they're going to fuel each other, and and whoever wins the job is going to win the job based on who competes the hardest, who improves the most, and who shows Coach Houston that they're ready to show up and make big plays on game day.
You mentioned those other positions, Jake. I don't know if I've ever asked you, were you like a soccer guy that went over to football to kick, or did you play other positions on the football field before you found out kicking was your specialty? What was your background coming up?
Yeah, I kind of, like I told you, I'm in this small little country town, and we moved out here, I think, in 8th grade, and I guess it was peer pressure. All my friends are playing football, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll go play football so I can be cool. And I went out there, and I'd been playing soccer since I was little, and that kind of dubbed me the kicker right away.
Right.
Kicking went well, and I played safety at first, and I think I broke my leg week 2 of practice or something my freshman year, so I was on crutches for a good 6 months coming out of that. So that kind of put me off a little bit, but I recovered well, and that's when I kind of put the whole position player thing away forever. It wasn't my forte, and kicking went really well, though, from there on out, and I kind of just took off with it.
There you go, Jake Verity, and look what it's turned out to be. Jake Verity next in line to be a pro kicker, and that is definitely in your future, Jake. We'll see what the path is for you to get there. We'll find out next week, but man, we wish you the best of luck here. We've been enjoying following your career, and we'll certainly do that from afar, Jake, when you're kicking in the pros, and we appreciate a few minutes of your time today and wish you the best of luck, man.
I appreciate that, Clip. You guys have a good one up there in Greenville.
Yes, sir, will do. And Jake, you have a good one in your Podunk town. I'll be heading to my Podunk Winterville coming up here after the show. Jake Verity joining us today on the Fixed NC Live Line. And, man, he's got a great head on his shoulders and a great leg attached on his body as well. And he'll be showing that off, hopefully in the professional ranks very, very soon. All right, Shirley, let's get a break in because we got to get to hour 3 and we got to get to one of Jake's former teammates, Blake Proehl. He'll join us on the other side of this timeout. We'll talk about the training he's been doing and if he'll hear his name called in next week's draft. After that, Deontay Smith. And man, I hope the most recent mock draft I saw is true. It had Washington grabbing Deontay in the 4th round. We'll talk to him a little bit later on Pirate Radio Live. Back with you when we return after this.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
Now, Wes, you have a incredible ability to be able to spit off our IP address, but not have your zipper up on your pants. It's an amazing talent.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
You don't need a big meeting. You don't need a birthday. You don't need any excuse at all. You just need to love subs. Times 12. Order the Jersey Mike's catering box today. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. Good things come to those who wait. At Jersey Mike's, they also come to those who don't. Download our app, order ahead, and skip the line. Cut to the Chase by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Hey, Eastern North Carolina, this is Miles Minges. And this is Landon Minges with Minges Bottling Group. We are proud to announce that Pepsi is once again the official soft drink of the ECU Pirates. That's right, Miles. Our family's purple and gold roots run deep. From founding members of the Pirate Club, alumni, and even a team physician, our support over the last 60 years has never wavered. We are Pirates. We're excited to be back at ECU and are honored to serve our great customers throughout Eastern North Carolina. Not only is this the birthplace of Pepsi Cola, this is our home. Cheers, Pirate Nation. I like the sound of that. Support local, drink local, stay safe, and drink Pepsi.
You know texting while driving is dangerous. That's not new information. Yet most people admit to doing it anyway. Drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a car accident while texting. Know the facts and wait to text. The danger is real and it applies to you. Auto Owners Insurance. The no problem people. Information provided by Virginia Tech Transportation Institute.
This is Jeff Gibson with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
If you are push mowing your yard using an inefficient lawn tractor or your current zero-turn spends more time in the shop than mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated, welded steel decks. Don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see Ron Ayers Motorsports. It will guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11 north of the airport in Greenville.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
If you love the food at Villa Verde, and hey, who doesn't? Now Villa Verde makes it even easier for you to order takeout. Tell us about it, Jay.
If you go to myvillaverde.com, you can order online, and we'll have it ready for you to go. Plus, you can pick it up at either one of our locations. No waiting in line to pay, and no waiting at all. Just pick it up and go. With online ordering from myvillaverde.com or from our mobile app, plus even from our Facebook page. Villa Verde, now with 2 Greenville locations to serve you. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. You've worked hard to start your business and are working even harder to make it successful, and that's why it's important to have a bank in your corner when you need them. As the business world throws you curveballs, Select Bank and Trust is here to be responsive to your needs. Select Bank's team of local bankers can make local decisions and cares about you, the customer. Get the business services that are right for your business today with Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
Back with you, Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. We've got a great giveaway coming up later on this hour to go along with our great interview guests. Free Beer Friday, we'll give you a case of Michelob Ultra Organic Pack, Michelob Ultra 6-pack cooler and bucket, a large pizza from Domino's, and a new Pirate Vibes Only t-shirt. All that coming up later on this hour. But before we get there, we got some great interviews. Deontay Smith going to join us in about 15 minutes. Before we get there, we'll talk to his former teammate at ECU, former ECU wide receiver Blake Proehl, joining us today on the Fixed NC Live Line. Blake, thanks for your time. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. How about you?
Hey, we're doing fantastic up here in Greenville. Where are you right now, Blake?
I am actually at home in Greensboro, getting ready for the draft next week. So,
what has that training been like for you, Blake? What's a day to day for Blake Proehl? Life in the day of Blake Proehl been like preparing for the draft?
It's a lot like, time wise, it's a lot like kind of before pro day, but now we're kind of more dialed in on specific drills, like getting ready for, mini camp and things like that, and OTAs that happen after the draft. So it's really just same type of football movements, weightlifting, running routes and catching passes and, the simple stuff, and then making sure, you're eating enough food and all that type of stuff. So, I mean, it's the same formula it's always been, really.
Blake, how stressful is pro day compared to how fun is pro day? Because it's like an audition, and it's kind of a shame. I mean, you put together such a great resume on tape, but the scouts are there to watch you for that one day out at pro day doing all those drills. So are you able to kind of ignore the stressful side of it and just have fun, or is it stressful for you guys?
You know, it's definitely like stressful leading up to it, but once you get out on the field, like, it just becomes natural. Like, it just kind of takes you back to like why you love the game of football. Just, you know, going out there and running routes. And some of the testing can probably be more stressful just because all those reps that you took the 3 months before, like all for that one moment.
Right.
Them just writing down the time on a little like clipboard or whatever. And it is stressful, but at the same time, once you get in the groove and your blood starts pumping, and you're good to go. But yeah, I would definitely say there's a little stress in there, but at the same time, it's the same thing as it usually is.
Blake, how have the conversations with scouts, with teams, and coaches, whoever you've talked to leading up to the draft, how has that process gone for you?
It's going good. You know, I've been able to talk to probably around like 28 to 29 out of all 32 teams, which has been really, really awesome. I've been really thankful for that. I would say, you know, there's probably like a couple teams that are like, I can tell are like really, really interested, but it just depends on, you know, what, if you're getting a Zoom call or if a phone call, if you're getting a text. There's all types of ways that it goes down, and you got to have your phone on ring at all times. I'll say that's for sure. You don't want to miss one of those calls.
Don't want to miss an opportunity. Blake Proehl joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. Mention this with Jake, and I'll talk about it with Deontay as well in a moment. One part of the get to know you process, and we've heard about it over the years, is the odd, strange questions that coaches and teams will ask players. And I got a list here, Blake, of the 15 weirdest questions asked to draft prospects, and a couple of those. What's your murder weapon of choice? I don't know why any team would need to know that. There's the classic, are you a cat or a dog? So Blake, have you gotten any of these weird questions from teams?
To be honest with you, I've gotten, you know, the questions. You're so right. Like when I was in California training, we would do media prep every week. So, you know, we had a guy for that, and they would go over questions and prepare you for weird questions. But the murder weapon one, that's a new one for sure. That's pretty deep right there. The funny thing is every question like that has a formula to it. So they really do want to know like what you would say, which is crazy. But I haven't had any that's like that. A lot of them are more about like my background and stuff like that, that's funny though. I don't know what my murder weapon would be. No, that's a good thing, Blake, because if somebody did answer that right away, I'd be kind of nervous to be around them, to be honest with you. Exactly. That would be kind of scary. I don't know about that.
So you're in Greensboro training. You mentioned California there, and Blake, that obviously I don't know if you get tired of hearing your dad's name brought up, Ricky Proehl, but you've been able to be around a great athlete who has coached and who trains athletes. How about, Blake, have you been able to kind of rub shoulders, get advice, get training from other NFL guys, any former wide receivers when you've been doing this process?
Yeah, you know, when I was out in California, obviously my dad was out there, but we had a bunch of guys that would be out there with us with the agency, that like veterans and stuff like that. For me, it wasn't a lot of receivers. It was more quarterbacks, which is pretty important just because those are the guys who give me the ball. And receiver-wise, you know, I've been able to meet a lot of, you know, vets and learn from them. But in that process, it was really important for me to communicate with quarterbacks and what they're thinking and timing-wise. So I was able to throw a bunch of, you know, big-time quarterbacks and even prospects coming out. I would say, let's see, who did I get to work with? Jacob Easton, he was at Georgia and then transferred to Washington. He's out there with the agency. There's a lot of guys. Carson Wentz. Let's see, who else? Ben Roethlisberger's with the agency. So I was just able to be around, like, the professional type atmosphere, which was really important for me and the other guys training.
Blake, what's one or two things you've really focused on in your training, maybe that teams gave you advice on, hey, Blake, you're great at this, but you need to work on this? Any of those things you've been working on here leading up to this draft?
Yeah, I would say I wouldn't say it was more like, for me, I definitely just kept needing to grow into my body and let, like, my time in the weight room develop and stuff like that, which was important. Just like anything, going to another level, especially like the NFL, you got to be able to, like, bring some sides with you, which is really important for me. But I think the biggest thing at the next level that coaches, tell me and make sure is just making sure you're, like, studying enough film and, like, getting to know, like, defenses, because they are more complex at the next level. So it's a lot of mental things. The physicality standpoint isn't that much of a jump as it is from, like, high school to college, as college to the pros. It's more of a mental jump. So
Blake Proehl joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. The final scrimmage for ECU coming up on Saturday, Blake, and I'm going to ask you to put you've talked to a lot of scouts and coaches. I want to ask you to put your scouting hat on, your coach hat on, and tell us a little bit about one of these guys I'm excited about, Tajee Hudson, who came in as a quarterback. And Blake, you came to ECU so polished already, and we're fine-tuning your skills. This is a guy that is trying to learn the receiver position, but, man, Mike Houston has brought his name quite a bit this offseason and this spring. The sky could be the limit for this kid. How are you able to kind of see him grow? And maybe this would be a better question if you were around this spring, because he's grown even more. But what kind of future do you think Hudson has, that receiver for East Carolina?
Tajee, he's just, like, for me, like, when I think of Tajee, I just think of a competitor, like, whether we're just in a scout period or we're in full-blown live team, he's the same guy every rep. If it's a run play, he's going to try and go take your head off. Like, doesn't matter what it is, and that's the type of team that Coach Houston has grown there, and he fits into that image so well. And for him, like, coming as a quarterback, and just the way that he handled that attitude-wise and his character, like, the sky's the limit for him. Obviously he's got things to work on, like certain routes, just like everybody does. But for him, like, he's got the most important tool, and that's just wanting to compete and, be who he is as a person. And I think that's all he really needs. And I think he's a really bright future. Yeah,
great scouting report there, and looking forward to seeing him on the field coming up Saturday and, of course, this fall. And he's just a freshman. He's got a long time to fine-tune his game and be a great receiver here at ECU. Well, Blake, you mentioned you're going to keep your phone on, and you want to have that on Thursday, Friday, Saturday for sure coming up. So if you get your name called, you'll be ready. And, if not, there is the rookie free agent, the undrafted free agent market, which we see quite a bit, and guys make teams that way. So what if teams told you, Blake, as far as when you might be taken, or will you be a free agent? Have you had that conversation with teams leading up to next week?
Yeah, so for me, I'm one of those guys that is projected like fourth round to sixth round, but it really just depends on how the draft goes. Like, if it's a receiver type draft and a lot of kids go, like the top kids go in the first, day or two, then it's looking good for me to get taken. But if it's, if those guys get pushed back, then I get pushed back as well. So it really just depends on how the draft goes. I mean, I've heard how crazy draft day is. It's never what you expect. So for me, I just know, like, I just pray that, the best opportunity happens. If a better opportunity is in the book for me as a free agent than getting drafted, and that's what I want, because I'm in it for the long run. I'm not in it for, hey, I got my name called. If that happens, then awesome. I just hope it's the best situation for me and, like, what I bring to the table.
Well, Blake, we've loved watching your career here at ECU. We'll certainly be following it in the pros as well. So good luck next week. Can't wait to see what team your name is attached to. And good luck, man. We wish you all the best here in Greenville.
Thank you so much.
Blake Proehl joining us today on the Fixed NC Live line. Looking forward to seeing what team he will be a part of. And, of course, we watched his dad play in the NFL for many years, including the Carolina Panthers. In fact, one of the I'm going to say very few players that caught a touchdown pass for multiple teams in a Super Bowl. Did it with the Rams and the Panthers, I believe. So now Blake following in that legacy And looking forward to seeing what team he's with coming up next week. Deontay Smith will be on a team next week as well. And we're going to talk to him next on Pirate Radio Live. And I tell you what, Shirley, we'll do it after Deontay Smith. How about that? We'll open up the booty bag. We know your prize today. It's Free Beer Friday here on Pirate Radio Live. We'll be giving away a case of Michelob Ultra. And it is Michelob Ultra Organic Pack with all the grapefruit flavors. We got a cooler, a bucket to give away, a large pizza from Domino's, and a Pirate Vibes Only t-shirt. And it can be yours if you are the lucky caller at the end of our next segment when we talk to former Pirate Deontay Smith. What teams has he been talking to? How serious was that mock draft with him going to Washington? I would love to see him as part of my favorite NFL team. We'll talk to Deontay Smith when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. A wave of refreshment. Crafted using our unique Brew Pure process. Made pure. Nothing tastes like White Claw Hard Seltzer.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. Available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage. Please drink responsibly.
In studio today with Tony Edwards from AG Home Solutions. And Tony, you love to help people remodel spaces or even do new construction.
We do, and we also can help people find financing when they want to do projects like this. And so we partner with folks like Joey Barrow with Annie Mac Mortgage.
And Joey's in studio with us as well. And Joey, people have a lot of financing questions to be able to help reach the home of their dreams, whether it's remodel or new construction.
No matter how large or small the project may be, we have options for you. Even if you have credit concerns, we provide guidance to help you get the home of your dream or turn the home that you currently have into the home of your dream.
Joey, how can folks get up with you?
You can call us today at 917-8400, or you can go to our website at greenville.annie-mac.com.
And Tony, what about if people have renovation questions? How can they get up with AG Home Solutions?
You can contact us at 947-2526 or check out our website at aghomesolutions.com.
Thanks again to Tony Edwards from AG Home Solutions and Joey Barrow from Annie Mac Mortgage joining us today.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs, 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville, across from Ron Ayers Motorsports, and in Chocowinity next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
How much does the word reliable mean? Sure, all businesses describe themselves as reliable, and we certainly wouldn't expect any business to be unreliable, but when you take a word like reliable and make it your way of life, the entire core of your business, it tends to mean a little more. And it's something you have to show people, not tell them. At Delcor, we show it by being there the same day you call. We show it by simply doing outstanding work with exceptional products, a family-oriented work ethic, and genuine caring for all of our neighbors throughout Eastern NC, because in a time of need, we know the first and the only thing you need is someone you can count on. That's why we only use equipment you can count on too, like a train comfort system. It's hard to stop a train. Delcor can have a new train comfort system installed in no time, or we can provide an AC tune-up to make sure your system is performing well. So will your system keep you cool all summer? Find out. Call us. We're Delcor, the service professionals. Reliable for over 4 decades. Visit DelcorInc.com today.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
Pirate Radio. The voice of the Pirate Nation.
1, 2, 3,
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. If you've got damage from wood rot, consider it fixed. How about damage from smoke or fire? Fixed. Damage caused by water? Fixed. If you've got damage, use a contractor that works for you and not your insurance company. Visit fixednc.com today or call 999-0001. That's 3 9s, 3 zeros, and a 1. Fixed NC. Restore, renew, maintain. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, been great catching up with some former Pirates today, Jake Verity and Blake Proehl, as they look to see what's going to happen with their futures coming up next week. The NFL draft on Thursday, and then teams will also bring in rookie free agents as well on that weekend. And Deontay Smith is a man waiting to hear his name called in the NFL draft. And the former offensive lineman for the Pirates joins us now on the Fixed NC Live line. Deontay, welcome to the show. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. What about you?
Hey, doing great. We appreciate a few minutes of your time today, Deontay. And your name, you were a draft prospect, of course, with or without the Senior Bowl, but it seemed like your name, Deontay, really skyrocketed that week with all the Senior Bowl prep. You got NFL coaches around you and kind of all eyes on you, Deontay. What did you do that week that impressed so many NFL scouts and NFL coaches? How were you able to do that week?
Oh, for me, it's just about just going out and doing what I was coached to do, and just being me, just trying to have fun and enjoy the experience.
And Deontay, you were unable to, there was no real NFL combine this year, so that probably was the best opportunity. You had your pro day at ECU, but that week there at the Senior Bowl was probably the best way to get eyeballs on you, right? To get people to watch you and see how good you are. So I don't know, is that fun? Is that pressure? What was that week like for you, doing all those drills and working out with those guys?
For me, it was a lot of fun. It was just like a big blessing, really. It was a big opportunity, like you said, for me to get eyes on me from all teams at that moment. And I felt like for me, it was just for me to just go out and be me, be myself, and do what I was coached to do and have fun with it. Don't try to put too much pressure on it.
Deontay, you got tons of game film on you from all your time on the offensive line at ECU, but as we talked about with Blake, that pro day is very important. You got to do those drills. You train for those drills. What is that day like? I asked Blake about it. How nerve-wracking is it? How nervous are you leading into that pro day, but also, how much fun is it getting on the field and showing off your skills?
It is a little bit nerve-wracking. You train for some months for this moment and then for this day. And, you expect your training to pay off, and it does pay off. And you expect to perform like you can. And then it's just a gratifying feeling, to do what you can do, performing your drills and go out and represent yourself well in your school.
Speaking of that training, Deontay, what was it like day to day for you, kind of leading up to pro day, and what's it been like? Not having to worry about homework and school. You're worrying about being a pro athlete. So what's the training been like for you?
For me, leading up to pro day, I worked out about 6 days a week. Majority of the days, 5 days a week, is twice a day. Wednesday is like a little bit of a slider day, and Sunday was my off day. Now I'm currently still doing workouts. I work out with a couple of other linemen, and I'm just still getting some training in. And it just was a good experience for me to be able to completely focus on my training and completely focus on bettering myself. I think that was a big opportunity for me too.
Deontay Smith joining us. I'm going to ask you kind of a selfish question here, Deontay. I'm a fan of the Washington football team. We got a great tackle in Morgan Moses, Brandon Sheriff at guard, but I saw a mock draft this week, Deontay, that had you going in the 4th round to Washington. So let me ask, has anybody from the Washington organization, coach or scout, talked to you through this process?
I've spoken with all 32 teams.
Okay.
As of now.
All right, so, man, okay, that kind of takes away that equation. Has any team kind of talked to you more than others, or are they all kind of showing the same level of interest in you at this point?
There are different teams that show different levels of interest, but it's just a different process. You never know until it's actually done. So, it's an exciting process. I'm just ready to find out.
And Deontay, us on the outside, we look at these mock drafts, but it's all projections and things like that. I have seen kind of fourth round and maybe third, maybe fifth. What have teams told you about, and what do you think as far as what you've been told where you'll be drafted coming up in the draft next week?
It correlates around sort of what some of those mock drafts are saying. For me, I'm thinking probably about the same thing. I'm just ready for, it really happy. Nothing's done until it's done.
Deontay Smith joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. Deontay, you had your injury last year for ECU football. How kind of frustrating was it to have to watch your guys from the sidelines in 2020?
It was frustrating, but for me, I wanted to see my guys succeed also. So I did my best to try to still provide great energy for the sideline, and I was happy to see a lot of the guys still improve and make some great strides in that season. A lot of guys stepped up, and a lot of guys made some big plays.
There is a feeling, Deontay, that things are definitely headed in the right direction, and Mike Houston's talked about a culture change a lot. You worked with a very veteran O-line coach and Steve Shankweiler, who's been here quite a bit, several stops at ECU, certainly knows what he's doing. So how about you, Deontay? Do you feel like the future's bright for this East Carolina football program?
Most definitely. They have a lot of talent, a lot of young players who are eager to play, eager to get better, great chemistry along the team. I feel like this year is going to really be a breakout year for them.
Any young offensive linemen we should keep an eye on, or guys, Deontay, that you think will kind of take that next step this year for ECU football? Who are you excited to watch on TV? Once you're on a pro team and you flip on an ECU game, what linemen are you going to be watching this year?
I can't say no names because I don't want to leave. I love my, I'm going to be watching tomorrow. I'm keeping in touch. I'm talking to them to make sure, they're still improving and everything. But, I'm ready to see them go out and show what they're doing.
That's a smart answer, Deontay. I'm going to give you credit on that one. You don't want to leave anybody out, so don't start mentioning names. Good idea there. Speaking of kind of weird questions, Deontay, I've mentioned this with Jake and Blake. You've seen these stories about these odd questions that scouts and coaches will ask players once they get to know them in the draft process. I'm looking at the 15 weirdest questions ever asked to a prospect, and for example, let's see, where does the sun rise and where does it set? Would you share your internet history with us? These are questions that were asked to prospects. Have you gotten any of these weird questions during this process for the draft?
I don't know. I haven't gotten those questions. I haven't gotten those questions. So.
Are you a cat or a dog? Anything like that? Any questions that made you be like, well, why do you even want to know this? Have you got any of that stuff?
I can't say no, sir.
All right, well, that's a good thing. Maybe they're asking important questions to the guys these days, but in the past, they've certainly had some weird ones. Well, Deontay, what's it going to be like? What are your plans for the draft? Are you going to be around friends and family coming up starting Thursday for when you get that call? Do you have any plans for the draft?
Most definitely. I'm going to be around some friends and family, just enjoying the moment, soaking in, what's going on.
Well, that's great, man. Deontay, we enjoyed watching you play here in the purple and gold, and I can't wait to see where you're picked and what team you'll be a part of, and we'll certainly be following in the future. We wish you the best of luck, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
That's Deontay Smith, former ECU tackle, joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. And again, he took advantage of his the Senior Bowl and that week up there. And Chandler, I believe Matt Rule and the Panthers coaching staff was there this year, correct?
They were the coaches.
Yeah, they were the coaches.
They were the head coach for one of the teams.
Yeah. And so Matt Rule and his staff got a pretty good look at Senior. In fact, I remember talking to you about that week. Are you worried that the coaching staff is going to fall in love with maybe a Mac Jones like other coaches have fallen in love with players at the Senior Bowl? And Apparently, Kyle Shanahan might have fallen in love with Mac Jones, but I think that's a pretty good advantage for whatever staff gets to be there. They get a bonus look, an extra look at some of these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Tony mentioned it earlier, and I hope he ends up with the Washington football team. But Tony was talking about it earlier, how the Panthers might be looking for an offensive lineman to kind of add to their depth there.
He said he wanted multiple.
Line,
if you take your guy in the first round, you're probably going to add another one later.
So if he's there in the mid to late rounds, Deontay Smith could potentially be a Panther.
Yeah, we hope he's going to get taken. Man, I love to see him in the third, but fourth round could be the consensus on Deontay. We're going to hear his name called in the upcoming NFL draft. Been great to catch up with Deontay, Blake, and Jake on today's edition of Pirate Radio Live. We'll talk a lot of NFL draft leading up to it coming up next week on the show. All right, Shirley, let's go ahead and open up the Pirate Radio
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
Booty, 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 booty,
booty, booty, booty, booty.
Shirley is so done with us today. Mostly Chandler, but me too. Chandler's been in the weirdest mood today.
I'm happy.
You are happy.
I'm chipper.
You are. Borderline annoying, but happy. Shirley's had enough. Shirley, what caller are we looking for?
We're looking for caller number 12.
Caller 12, 317-1250. Do you want to win free beer on this lovely Friday? Of course you do. Do you want to win a cooler, a bucket, a shirt, a pizza? We're throwing it all in one grand prize pack on this free beer Friday. You can be a winner right now. 317-1250. Free beer Friday brought to you by Michelob Ultra Infusions. Michelob Ultra Infusions, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. We're back with Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get a 2021 Buick and save over $5,000 off or 0% for 72 months. And as always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Big Ed Watkins here from Ed Watkins Marine. You use the internet to shop for clothes to cars, so why not use it to shop for boats? Get your best price now at Ed Watkins Marine. We are located in Lake Norman, but we will deliver anywhere in North Carolina, from offshore center consoles and bass boats to just cruising or fishing the lakes of the intercoastal waterways. We have something for everyone. Go online now at Ed Watkins Marine and see our selection. Stick with a pirate and shop Ed Watkins Marine for all your next boats.
Let us help you get back to business.
This is Donald Stocks
and Justin Judge of PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
We're ready to assist your business with branded PPE. Would you like face masks with your logo? We can do that, plus custom social distancing signage.
Now is the time to ramp up your marketing efforts. Whether it's cutting-edge, contactless, touchless marketing, or traditional direct mail, we can do it all.
We are PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
What the heck was that?
There goes Chuck from Naughty Dog again, so pumped about the awesome things at Naughty Dog, he runs around town screaming with excitement. Naughty Dog releases 2 to 3 beers every month, has food trucks every Friday and Saturday, wine specials every Wednesday, plenty of indoor and outdoor space to enjoy, beers to go with curbside pickup, and just launched the new Koozie Club. Be sure to ask about that on your next visit. Naughty Dog Brewing Company on Main Street in downtown Winterville, and be sure to follow Naughty Dog on Facebook and Instagram.
The best place for delicious food and great prices is Familia. Familia has something for everyone, like New York-style pizza, lasagna, chicken, veal, or eggplant parmesan, homemade meatballs, plus a variety of seafood selections and favorites, like the steak burger and southern pork chop. If you need food to go, Familia's drive-thru window is open and ready for all takeout orders. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College, and FamiliaNC.com.
At US Cellular, we see our customers as more than just customers. They're neighbors. When you switch to US Cellular, you can get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G for free with no hidden requirements. As a neighbor, you deserve it. U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for U.S. Cellular since 1997. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
At Tiebreakers, we pride ourselves on serving
big, juicy wings.
I'm talking
big and juicy.
Our chickens are the same ones that kick sand in the other chickens' faces. If our chickens played football, they'd be linebackers. The competition's chickens, they'd be
skinny little kickers.
Trade those kickers in for linebackers.
Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates.
Been pulled over for speeding and written a ticket? Then you need to call O'Neill's Speedometer Service in Greenville. O'Neill's can calibrate all vehicles for speeding tickets. All-wheel drives, no problem. 18-wheelers, no problem. Motorcycles, no problem. O'Neill's can also repair instrument gauges that have stopped working. Whether you drive a Ford or GMC, Greenville's trusted speedometer shop for over 30 years is O'Neill's. Call today for repairs or calibration work at 756-5050. O'Neill's Speedometer Service. Go Pirates.
Pirate Radio.
It's great to be on. This is an honor. You know, Pirate Radio is kind of a cult following around North Carolina, so I'm excited.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back, and congratulations to Nicholas Carter of Maggie Valley, North Carolina, was our big winner for Free Beer Friday. Walks away with a bucket, a Michelob Ultra organic seltzer bucket, along with pizza and a t-shirt and all sorts of other stuff, along with 12 cans of Michelob Ultra organic seltzer. So congratulations once again to Nicholas Carter. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, Maggie Valley. Trying to find out where it is. It's like we're pretty close to. We're in the right outside the Great Smoky Mountains National Park.
Yeah, and he told me that he is in grad school at ECU, but he's taking his courses online. So.
Okay. There's Pigeon Forge. We used to go to Pigeon Forge a lot when I was a kid. Go to Dolly World.
I was getting ready to say, is that where is it Dolly World or Dollywood?
Dollywood.
Okay. I was just wondering.
Yeah,
I've never been there, but that would be an interesting place to go.
Yeah, it was fun. A lot of great food. I remember there's a lot of like crafts and stuff. I would always get like a miniature wooden baseball bat, like with my name on it.
No, okay.
We ride the one roller coaster they had there. Got some shows.
The one roller coaster.
It was fun. I used to like going to the mountains, and we'd do like go to those mining places where you never really find anything, but you always think you are.
You always think you will. Yeah,
those were fun.
I've been to a couple of mining places, but I've never been to the one in Pigeon Forge,
Gatlinburg. So
I've driven past there.
Yeah,
because I usually go in that area when I go to Decatur, Tennessee, which is about half hour on the other side of Knoxville.
Okay.
So
Tube World. Wonder what Tube World is. That popped up when I searched.
Ooh, Google that. Is that like a water park?
Oh, cool. No, it's like snow. It's like
like a snow tubing place.
Snow tubing.
Oh, okay, that'd be cool. I've done that before. That's fun.
That's in.
I've done zip lining.
Cataloochee. Is that a place? I don't know, man. That Western NC is like a whole new world that I need to discover.
There's a lot of places over there where you can go whitewater rafting, and that's something I've always wanted to go whitewater rafting.
I went with my church when I was like a teen.
But I'm pretty sure that I will be the one, because just my luck, that will get kicked out of the freaking raft.
Yeah, I'll
hit a rogue wave and then out goes Shirley.
I don't think I want to do that again, but it was fun to do once.
I'd like to try it. I'm never in the mountains like enough to say, okay, yeah, let's go whitewater rafting this weekend.
I need to go to the mountains again.
I mean, I drive through them, but
it would be my luck to fall out of the thing that you're in and hit a
the
rock.
raft.
The raft.
The raft.
Raft.
So what'd you say you went zip lining?
Oh yeah, that's fun.
Now what is that?
You basically you hook yourself to a
line
and then you just zip.
It's right there in the name.
And you go through the mountains.
That might hands down be the worst explanation on what a zip line
right
is.
What is whitewater rafting? You're in a raft in white water, rafting down. All right. What's your relationship to the mountains, Chandler? You a fan?
I'm not a big mountain guy.
Not a mountain guy. You a beach guy?
I like the mountains in the fall because I
takes
love
forever
to
to
see.
get there,
Oh
and it's
yeah,
boring.
Well,
I do like the view though.
Yeah, I love the view, but I don't go to the mountains enough. Like I'll go to the beach all day long, but so I guess you could say that beach would be my favorite, but I don't mind the mountains if it's cool and, like if it's a fall day and the leaves are changing and it's got the pretty colors. I don't mind that.
Every time I've been to the mountains,
I don't like it in the cold though.
The cabin that we stayed in, like you get there and you think you're there, but then you have to go up this big hill, and it's kind of sketchy because you think that you're going to fall off the mountain the whole time. But I mean, the places that they have that you're able to like stay at in the mountains is pretty nice.
Mhm.
And every one that I've had, like the balcony or the porch, has a beautiful view. So.
Your Western Carolina brochure brought to you by.
All right, now I'm going to ask you offensive and ignorant questions.
Bring it on.
That have been asked to NFL draft prospects. Shirley, you're up first. Do you find your mother attractive?
Do I find my mother attractive? What
Yes.
the hell kind of a question is that?
I don't know. Do you?
No, I don't find her attractive.
Okay, all right.
My mother is
I mean-
beautiful.
Hold on, I'm writing that down. I may
mean-
not want to draft you now.
I mean,
You were a first-round pick, and now you're a fifth-round pick.
I mean, that is a terrible question.
Chandler, you're up next. Do you like men?
Yes.
Okay. Do you like me, right?
I love every human being on earth.
Really? Even serial killers. Interesting. Let me try that down. Wow. Okay.
Oh, you're going.
Crap!
Yeah, guess what?
I'm sorry.
Shirley,
You're a free agent now.
when did you lose your virginity? I feel like
yesterday.
I had a big night last night. I feel like we were playing like truth or dare with teenagers, not NFL.
That is one hell of an invasive question.
It is.
Like it's none of their business, and what does that have to do with playing football?
Chandler, boy, this one's tough. Is your mother a prostitute?
Oh my. That's an easy answer, dude.
What kind of questions are these?
This is on the 15 weirdest questions NFL teams have asked draft prospects at the Combine. I guess okay, Shirley, this one you can answer. What's your murder weapon of choice? I'm sure you've thought about that probably today.
A softball bat.
Yeah, softball bat.
Oh, God. Chandler was joking. Is that really?
Yeah, there's a long running joke with my friends because I used to keep my bats in my car because you never know when you're going to play softball, so I keep them on the ready. So they used to stay in my trunk, and I remember my best friend got into an altercation downtown here in Greenhalgh with a gentleman who was pretty adamant that he wasn't going to go anywhere, and so she called me and she literally said, I need you to bring Mr. and Mrs. Easton, which was my nicknames for the two bats I had in the trunk of my car.
Wow.
So I hopped in my car, I drove downtown, bats are ready, but the gentleman left.
If you ever watch Cops, when they get a suspect in, they're always like, do you have any weapons on you? It's like, no, but I do have this thing, and he whips out a softball bat.
Yeah, I used to keep my softball bats in my trunk, and they were called Mr. and Mrs. Easton, and so my best friend would call me. Well, she's only had to do it the one time, but she did call me and said, I need you to bring Mr. and Mrs. Easton.
Okay, weirdo, moving on. Chandler, would you rather be a cat or a dog?
A dog.
Okay, he's a dog. Shirley.
So you can just sniff everything?
No, because I'm a dog.
He's a big sniffer. Shirley, where are you sitting on a bus speeding on a mountain? I guess that means, are you front of the bus, back of the bus? You're speeding on a mountain.
You're speeding on a mountain, front of the bus or back of the bus?
Or middle.
Back of the bus.
I think I'm going middle. So
you know why? Because the exit door's in the back. If you're going off the front of if you're going off the mountain.
And you time it right.
And you time it just right. You know the front end of the bus is going to go first, so you've got a little bit of time to throw that back door open and jump out.
Interesting. I like that. You're back in the first round.
There you go.
Chandler, where does the sun rise and where does it set?
Sun rises in the east and sets in the west.
Shirley, would you share your internet history with us?
Sure.
Wow. All right. You are a first round.
Wait. My internet history here at work or the one at home?
No. We need the home internet history.
Home.
Actually, yeah, I would share it because anything that I don't want anybody to know, I go incognito.
All right.
There's that incognito tab. Yeah, you use that when you don't want anybody to know what your history is.
Chandler, what color is chocolate?
Brown.
Okay. Shirley,
that was an easy question.
Boxers or briefs?
Boxers.
I go boxers.
Briefs.
Really? You're a briefs guy?
I'm a briefs guy.
You're a tighty whitey dude?
I'm a briefs man.
So you're a tighty whitey?
Not necessarily, Shirley.
I'm just saying.
Tighty ready. Wearing tight red drawers today?
Tighty greenies?
Hey, greedy.
It's greedy.
Chandler, how many ways could you use a brick in a minute?
Oh.
I don't know what that
I
means.
would just say I'll take being an undrafted free agent.
Don't pick me. You know what?
Send me home.
Yeah. I'll never play for your franchise.
Could you imagine John Gruden asking these questions?
Now, Shirley, this is a weird one for you probably because you don't play video games, but what team do you pick in Madden? Would you say the team interviewing you or would you say a different team?
That's a good question because, well, one, I don't play Madden. I would say the team that would be drafting me. That I would be.
Now, would they look at that as like, oh, what a brown-nosed liar, or would
they would know that you were lying if the Jets were interviewing you and you said the Jets?
Oh, I love picking the Jets.
You know what? I would probably still stick with my Dolphins.
Yeah, just say your team.
I would say I grew up a Panthers fan.
You know why? Because I'm loyal.
Yeah.
And I would be loyal to your franchise if you pay me millions of dollars.
And if you give me the 13 jersey, I'll be even more loyal.
We were going to draft Trevor Lawrence #1 overall, and now we're going to draft you.
Because of your, you wear boxers and you pick the Dolphins. Chandler, what kind of fish are you? Wait, what am I doing?
Flounder.
You know what? I had you pegged as a flounder guy. Shirley, what kind of fish are you?
What kind of fish am I?
What are we doing right now?
We're doing
what kind of a fish am I? I would say I'm a.
What are we doing? We're doing what Trevor Lawrence is doing right now. He's answering these questions.
Oh, that's a really good question.
That makes me feel so great.
Well, that's not a fish. No. I was thinking eel. Like an electric eel, but that's not technically a fish.
We can't hear your inner thoughts.
Sorry. What's something that's deceptively lethal?
A puffer fish?
No, because a puffer. Well, yeah, because if you eat the puffer fish, it'll kill you.
Steve is a grouper.
I don't know. A catfish.
Right.
I don't know. I really don't know.
It's kind of like country, southern, kind of like your background, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes slow and lumbering, because I can be that way sometimes. I can get a little lazy.
I think this is your question, but I'll ask both. This is the final question I have on this sheet.
This is rather entertaining.
Are you afraid of clowns?
No.
Bring in the clowns. Chandler?
Oh, wait. Unless it's Pennywise, then I retract my statement.
A murderous clown, okay.
Yeah, I was scared. I remember going to like the Roseboro Christmas parade and the Dunn clowns with the Shriners Club would come by.
Oh, those guys are harmless.
And I would crap myself.
So your answer is yes, you are scared of clowns.
So, I think there was one Christmas that I missed out on
Unless your name
Santa.
is Pennywise, I'm okay with you.
Did you grow out of that? Or are you still a little uneasy when you see a clown?
No, I'm better. Like, I don't crap myself anymore, but I do get kind of like...
I certainly hope you don't crap yourself anymore.
It happens. But, yeah, I'm not afraid of clowns. I'm not afraid of clowns.
Now you're trying to make yourself believe you're not.
I'm not afraid of clowns.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
All right, those are the weirdest questions asked to draft prospects.
Was that all 15 that you asked?
Yeah, we ran through them all.
Oh, wow.
All right.
And now it's time to wrap up the show.
We got one more segment to go. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll get you ready for the spring scrimmage coming up on Saturday. Start time has moved up to 10:30 a.m., so get ready for that, and baseball at 11 a.m. at Clark LeClaire Stadium. More to go on Pirate Radio Live. We're back with you after this.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
Former National Hockey League player Craig Cox, if you're going to get into a fight on the ice with a guy, what's the one thing you better do?
Better hit him more than he hits you.
But there is an art to the fighting, isn't there?
Everybody's got their own philosophy on, how to do it.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
E&S Hemp Company in Winterville is your premier CBD store. At E&S Hemp Company, they have helped hundreds of people just like you get relief from joint pain, anxiety, insomnia, and more by providing you the highest quality of CBD products available. E&S Hemp Company has a great selection of only the safest, purest, and most beneficial hemp-infused products available, from honey, tea, coffee, candles, and more. E&S Hemp Company, Fire Tower Road in Winterville, and online at eshempcompany.com.
Wait up. Papa John's has a new stuffed crust. Oh, we did it. We did it. All our tweets, DMs, and carrier pigeons worked. This ain't just stuffed crust. This is Papa John's crust. Stuffed.
Hey, Pirate fans, order the new Epic Stuffed Crust One-Topping Pizza for only $12. The new Epic Stuffed Crust Pizza is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
Hey, Eastern North Carolina, this is Miles Minges. And this is Landon Minges with Minges Bottling Group. We are proud to announce that Pepsi is once again the official soft drink of the ECU Pirates. That's right, Miles. Our family's purple and gold roots run deep. From founding members of the Pirate Club, alumni, and even a team physician, our support over the last 60 years has never wavered. We are Pirates. We're excited to be back at ECU and are honored to serve our great customers throughout Eastern North Carolina. Not only is this the birthplace of Pepsi-Cola, this is our home. Cheers, Pirate Nation. I like the sound of that. Support local, drink local, stay safe, and drink Pepsi.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
The new Pirates Cove Car Wash and Haviland Express Lube on Glen Burnie Road in New Bern is now open. Pirates Cove in New Bern is offering Fast Passes for $9.99 for new Fast Pass customers. You can visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and on East 10th Street. And have you heard? Pirates Cove on Fire Tower Road is now offering interior cleaning.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
Spring is a great time to plant flowers, trees, and bushes. When planting your landscape, please keep in mind that you should never plant anything within 3 feet of a gas, electric, or water meter. The same thing applies if you have an electric transformer in your yard, except keep plants 8 feet clear of the front in case crews need access during a storm or an outage. Always remember to call 811 at least 3 business days before you dig to avoid underground lines. This important safety message is from your neighbors at Greenville Utilities.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Ready to travel and take a trip? American Airlines has recently added more flights in and out of PGV. Book today and enjoy the friendly convenience of flying from your local airport. American Airlines, now with more flights available at PGV. Book today at AA.com. PGV, where the pirates fly.
Pirate Radio.
And you write that down, because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it!
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at your stock market report for today. It was a good one. The Dow was up 227 points, closed the week out at 34,043. NASDAQ was up 198 at 14,016, and the S&P was up 45 at 4180. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors financial report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, big weekend out at the athletic complexes of East Carolina, because you've got the final spring football scrimmage coming up 10:30 a.m. on Saturday at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. ECU softball hosting a game coming up 10:30 against Tulsa. That one at 10:30 as well. And then at 11, it is ECU baseball taking on UCF in Game 3 of that series. Lacrosse coming up on Sunday, I believe, along with some more baseball. And Shirley, is softball on Sunday as well?
Yes, at noon.
Okay. All right. So a lot of events going on, including Pirate football, as we just said. And we talked to 3 former Pirates as part of our Bud Light ECU report, brought to you by Bud Light, who reminds Pirate fans to always stay in the game, drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Let's hear more from Mike Houston earlier this week. I don't know if we've played this one. He had, let's see, his thoughts on Mason Garcia. And for some reason, I cannot find that cut. So.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I have it. Nope, I don't have it.
That must have been on a previous sheet. Never mind.
That was on a previous sheet.
Well, no wonder we didn't get to that cut, because it's not on this sheet. Let's hear from who Mike Houston liked from last Saturday's scrimmage and what stood out for him to him. Cut 6, Shirley. Here's Mike Houston.
I thought Keaton Mitchell. I think Tajee Hudson's getting better. Shane Calhoun had a really, really good day. I thought Holton, outside of maybe just 1 or 2 plays, had a very solid day. I think that first unit offensive line overall had a solid day. Defensively, Jairo Wilson, Jawan Powell played really, really well. I thought DJ Ford had a really strong day. I think that's in Milesbury. I think Miles, that's one. Big John and I were talking when he was coming on the field today. That kid, I'm so proud of him. He just, when I got here, I didn't know if he'd ever develop, and now I look at him as he's one of our leaders. He's become a significant playmaker on special teams, on the defense. You're going to see him play at several different positions defensively this fall. He's just become such a valuable player and such a great leader and such a positive impact in our locker room. I thought he had a great scrimmage Saturday, but I think that's just, one piece of, just a really solid end of the season last year and really a great offseason he's had. So.
A few players to watch there coming up on Saturday, and man, he raved about Miles Berry. I'll say it again, that linebacker position, a position of strength for ECU, in my opinion, in 2021. That is it for the show. That is it for the week on Pirate Radio Live. Thank you, folks, for tuning in and being part of the show. Shirley, Chandler, enjoy your weekends. We'll see you Monday, 3 o'clock for an all-new edition of Pirate Radio Live. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Welcome to the Pirate Radio Podcast, featuring special guests discussing a wide range of topics and personal stories. The Pirate Radio Podcast is presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Visit whiteclaw.com today. White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage. Please drink responsibly. Now live from the Pirate Radio studio, here's Shirley Rhodes.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Pirate Radio Podcast, featuring ECU